Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. It is Sunday night. It doesn't feel like Sunday night. I just woke up. Hello Farrier, welcome to the stream. I just woke up from a nap, like half an hour ago. So I'm still like in the process of getting my brain back online here. It's Sunday night. We're gonna be playing this new game called The Roottrees Are Dead, which I'm really excited about because I don't know anything about it except it's another one of those logic-y, like, put the things together kind of a thing. You're still in the hospital with your grandpa, things have happened. Okay. Yeah, I was like just able to read the updates on Discord. I hope he's got his apple ice cream and feeling okay. Those kind of times can be really, really tough with family when you have to do big major decisions and stuff like that. But in the meantime, we're gonna be... Oh, he's very happy with his apple ice cream. Good. I've never had apple ice cream. I don't even know where one would get apple ice cream. I don't even know that I've heard of apple ice cream, but it sounds good and now I want it. Is it like just apple flavored? Is it like an apple pie ice cream? I need the apple pie or the apple ice cream deets. You drove to like 3 different stores. Yeah, I'm like, I've never heard of apple ice cream. It sounds pretty good. It was a quest. Sounds like a good quest, though. Like, I'm on a quest to get my grandpa apple ice cream. Alright, let me go ahead and switch on over here to our desktop view. Oh, we got a little zoom. The chuggy zoom. Go, little zoomer, go. There you go, little spaceship. Zoom! At least that's working. Oh, man. I got a little bit of a cough since I woke up and hydrate while we're doing it. Also, this music is like super good. Tillamook brand. Okay, limited edition flavor. Technically called Apple Crisp. I'm happy we could find it. Everything they make is good. I really like they have like a malted vanilla flavor that's really good. They have a lot of stuff that's really good. I like their cheese. I like Tillamook dairy stuff. Apple cream. Okay, hang on. I gotta write this down. Apple crisp ice cream. Oh, I see it. Seasonal ice cream. Oh, do they have it at Smith's? Let's see. That's our local like Kroger brand here. Yeah, it looks like it's in our frozen aisle. Dude, I'm gonna have to go check that out. Make a trip to the grocery store tomorrow. Alright, so tonight we're playing The Roottrees Are Dead. I have no idea if this is important on the screen here, but I'm just gonna read it out. It's the Butler County Times. We got The Roottrees Are Dead. They're calling it one of the most deadly plane crashes in Pennsylvania's history. All passengers and crew perished. Pittsburgh is generally known for its pleasant flying conditions, and the weather was not atypical for this time of year. We do not know much at this time, but our sources tell us that local authorities do not suspect terrorism. The crash did not cause any local property damage, and fortunately nobody outside the plane was hurt. Funeral plans have not been announced, but you can be sure that the Butler County Times will cover it to the best of our abilities. A spokesperson for the company has asked that people respect the families, blah, 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 and it goes on from there. So what happened? The plane crashed last night near Pittsburgh. The only passengers were Carl Roottree, his wife Brenda, and their 3 daughters, known as the Roottree sisters, who I'm guessing this is a photo of. So far, local police... Oh wait, Carl Roottree was the president of Roottree Candy Company, and it's not clear who will succeed him. So far, local police are not sure what caused the crash. No worries, Farrah, if you need to lurk, that's totally understandable. Feel free to just hang out and listen in whenever you want, and yeah. Why does it look like all these girls have abnormally large... well, front teeth? Like, it looks like they've been, like, weirdly edited to where the girls all have, like, larger than normal front teeth. Has it changed? I don't remember it looking like that, but I guess we'll find... Alright, whatever. Let me check our options real quick. Show evidence intuition. Displays a number on evidence that indicates if there are more leads to track down. Okay. We'll keep that on. Enable search all for periodicals. I don't want to make it significantly easier, though. Graphics. We got subtitles on. Perfect. So far, the volume seems good. CRT monitor defects, light strobing. If we need to turn that off, we can. Alright. I'm just, like, weirdly struck by, like, their front teeth now. I swear it feels like they're getting larger. Okay. Alright. New game. Let's go. Oh, the Roottrees are dead. The mystery begins here. And then there's Roottree Mania. This mystery will unlock once you finish the Roottrees are dead. Okay. Alright, let's go. Oh, the Roottrees are loading. With a very old school loading screen. I did notice the date on the newspaper was 1998. I'm excited. Oh. The sounds, the noises. December 6, 1998.
The plane that crashed last night just outside of Pittsburgh is now known to have been the private jet of the Roottrees Corporation.
Oh, I could have played this role.
Local aviation authorities have speculated, based on the pilot's final communication, that the winter storm and heavy winds played a significant role in the crash.
Well, that's
on board were multiple family members, including corporate president Carl Roottrees and his daughters, the Roottrees sisters, best known for their fashion lines and modeling careers. There were no survivors.
An upset baby boy out there.
Again, for those of you just joining us,
dun, dun, dun.
The Roottrees are dead.
Oh no. That's not good. Okay, alright. Oh, someone's at the door. Oh, a mysterious figure.
I know it's late, but I'm guessing you've seen the news. In addition to dealing with the grief, the Roottrees company's lawyers are scrambling.
Okay, why does that matter to me? Who am I?
Everything's about to change. Anyone proven to be a blood relative is about to get much richer. I'm here to ensure everyone is accounted for.
So we have to figure out who is a blood relative?
I've heard you're an expert at sorting out complicated family trees.
Oh,
genealogy genie, as it were.
Well, I guess I do have some family trees on my wall, but
I'm going to give you a quick test.
Okay.
Pass, and I can promise you the job of a lifetime.
Sure. Okay. Complete the family tree of the Roottrees sisters. Siblings are in birth order, oldest to youngest. Examine my evidence, search the internet for clues. Ooh, fill in the names, fill in the occupations, fill in the photos. Sleuth! Okay. Examine my evidence. I love clicking the word evidence. Got milk picture? Okay. The person who hired you gave you this photo with a note attached. This was taken during the shoot for the Roottrees sisters' Got Milk ad. I tracked down a test photo from before they painted the fake mustaches on, which I thought would be more appropriate considering the circumstances. The ad's copy reads, "You might recognize our faces from the magazine you're reading, or you might recognize our name from the candy bar you're eating. Being a Roottree is a full-time job, but so is growing up. That's why the calcium found in milk is so important. Plus, you can't make chocolate without it." Oh, okay. I took a photo. I'm taking a photo. And I'm taking this photo, okay? Great. Love that for me. Oh, I zoomed in. Okay. Oh, and then I've got a list of names. This list was provided to you by the mysterious person who showed up at your door. You'll need it to fill in the family tree. Eloise something, Gwyneth Anderson, Deborah Bean, Laura Carr. Okay, so these are just a bunch of names. And I gotta figure out maybe Candy Carly, Gwendolyn Gwyn, Christina Lauren, Marguerite November, Raina Riley, Samantha, and Tessa Roottree. I love the clueless up in the middle girl has on. Dude, M, it's so true. That was it. That's exactly what I thought as soon as I opened the game. I'm like, is this Alicia Silverstone from Clueless? Wait, Miracle Roottree? Miracle Jr.? Miracle the Third? Wolf Roottree? Oh no, Elias Jr., Elias C., Elias M., Clancy, Edward, and Clancy Jr., and then just Edward Roottree. Oh no, okay. David Kellogg. Okay. Rafferty LaRue, bunch of LaRues. Alright, that's our list of names, so we get to figure out who these girls are. Okay, so we got milk picture and list of names. What else do I have? So that's my family tree. So I gotta figure out, I can't put their pictures in even though I have the pictures, I just gotta figure out who they are first. As if. Alright, the internet. Let's go to the internet. Welcome! Welcome to the Information Superhighway. Thanks for purchasing a new Cashew PC. Your PC is equipped with a 56K modem, which is fast enough to access any site on the World Wide Web, even with those with high-resolution images. If you find anything interesting, be sure to print it out with your included high-end color laser printer. Oh, or burn a music CD to listen to later. Do y'all remember burning CDs? Oh. And I remember I used to have a disc burner where you could put in like these like special discs and you could actually burn an image onto the top of it too. Oh, kids these days don't even know. If you want to revisit a search result, be sure to use the Netscape Explorer's new history feature. Happy surfing, and remember, cashew PCs are delicious. Cashew PCs are inedible. Do not try to eat your computer. Cashew PCs. Cashew. Is that like a... I'm trying to think of what that would be a pun on. Aside from the obvious, like, apple. Cashews. Because, like, Netscape Explorer instead of, like, Internet or Netscape. Cashew. I don't know. Because I'm like, dude, you got a Dell. Alright, let's go to the Internet. It's got the noises. My brain was just like, I recognize those. Oh man. It's just one of those things where it's like, were you a person who lived at this time and you remember the dial-up noises and the Windows 95 and the door opening and the door closing noises and like, you got mail. Like, oh. Okay, spider search. This is our Google equivalent. It's like our Ask Jeeves, but if Jeeves was a spider. Pro tip, you can create notes quickly by highlighting text with your mouse. Okay, perfect. So, let's find out who they are. Roottrees sisters. There are a lot of obituaries that focus on the Roottrees sisters' modeling careers. You also come across an unofficial Roottree fan site seemingly curated by a teenager. It's neon pink with purple text and hard to read until you highlight the words. I know that feeling. The young webmaster writes, Raina is the most famous because she's the oldest and got married to TMS, but Riley is the smart one. Rose is a middle child like me. Okay, so can I pause here? Leave that for a second. Okay, Raina is the oldest. So oldest here. Raina Roottree. Rose is a middle child, but it's with an H. Rose. Oh. There's no Rose? Raina. Riley. Oh, but I don't have a Rose Roottree? Oh, did she change her name or did she get married? That wouldn't make sense because, well, not that would, because I typed in Rose, R-H-O-S-E. R-O-S-E? There's nobody in the database with the name, so what happened to her? We'll have to probably Google it, or spider search it. Okay, Rose, oh wait. So, Riley is a smart one, Raina's the oldest. Back in my day, mid-2000s, we had to walk uphill, get on LimeWire both ways, and download viruses to the family computer in the snow in the bonus room to get to school to upload the song I heard in Shrek 2 on a mixtape for my friend. It's so true. I remember being so paranoid, though, about LimeWire. Like, I'll remember a friend, her name was Kathy. I remember her from high school. She showed me LimeWire for the first time, and I was like, you can just get any song. I was actually thinking about this the other night. I used to have, I think it was an iPod mini, maybe? Maybe it's just like an iPod. I feel like it was an iPod mini or maybe an iPod Nano. And I remember just like having like a bunch of songs from that like era of my life that I'd like downloaded and put on my iPad. I keep wanting to say iPad, but iPod. And I wish so hard I had, like, saved that playlist even of what I had loaded on there, because I would love to listen to that today. I think it was, like, looking at something on Instagram where it was like ways to relax or whatever, and it was like put on a fun playlist, and for some reason my brain was like, do you remember that time that you had your lime green iPod and your parents had your name engraved on the back of it for you and you loved that thing and it had the best playlist forever and you never changed it and it was so good? And I was just like, I wish I had that right now. That would be so good. Kids don't even know these days. They got the Spotify where you can just listen to whatever. They got the YouTube. Oh, it's so true. And the downloading viruses onto the family computer. Oh, in the bonus room. It's so true. It's just such a different world nowadays that it's almost like hard to remember what it used to be like. And it feels almost even more impossible to just, like, explain. My life was changed when my friend got the iPhone, like, the first one. I didn't have an iPhone for a long time. I actually don't think I had a phone, especially a phone with internet access, until, like, let's see, I started pharmacy school. That was 2014. Maybe like 2012, 2013. I have no idea when the first iPhone came out. That would have been around like, what, 2007-ish? I didn't have like a phone with the internet for like a long time. And when I was in high school, which I graduated high school in the mid-2000s, like, yeah, I had like a flip phone. Like, give me that old Nokia flip phone. I was never cool enough to have, like, a Motorola Razr or anything. And I definitely could not afford an iPhone for the longest time. I don't even know when I got my first iPhone. Nokia brick, no camera, absolutely, yeah. Where it had a green screen and all the keys, you had to, like, press, like, the number 5 multiple times to get, like, the letters that you wanted. Kids these days got it so easy, but also not easy in a lot of ways. All right, what do we do? It's a reminiscent. We gotta be playing. All right, so okay, we find out that it's Raina, Riley, and Rose, but Rose doesn't exist on our list. When you yes, when you open up the browser button by accident and you try to shut that down. Oh, it's so true. You, like, panic press the cancel button, like the end button for calls, so it would, like, cancel out the thing, because you were like, oh no, I don't want my parents to be charged for whatever, yes. Yup, it's so true. Do not be afraid to yap. It's totally fine. But it's so true. So true. Oh, that feeling. All the nostalgia is just like... Okay, what else about the girls? You might think that they are rich just because they are models, but their dad is also the president of a candy company. Their mom is Brenda, is a fashion designer, and they do the modeling for her brand, Root. I eat Roottrees candy all the time. My favorite are Maple Crisps. Try to dress in plaid Root clothes. Oh, like Riley does in most of these posters. So Riley is the youngest one, and she must be the one that's in the middle, because she's got the plaid clothes on. And then just in plaid Root clothes like Riley does in most of the posters. Someday I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. So who has their ears pierced? She does. But we don't know what her name is. That's so weird. Website's author continues to talk about her own life and what she likes about the Root fashion lines, but none of it is relevant. Okay, fine. Let's try Rose Roottrees. Rose Roottrees is not as popular as her older sister Raina, but oh, and I guess I can just put the other girl in. There we go. But still very well known. Most of the time they're lumped together as the Roottrees sisters. Unfortunately, the results for Rose by herself don't lead to anything different than when searching for the sisters together. If someone isn't in the list of names that your employer provided, doing a deeper dive on what you learn about them will often lead to additional discoveries. A good research tip is to make note of any brand names, books, product lines, or magazines that you don't recognize and search for them. These searches will sometimes help directly, even when they don't. You usually get additional context. That's weird, because you would think that we could be like Rose Roottree name change, you know? Okay, Root fashion line. Root period is part of the name is a clothing company. Make clothes for children from toddlers to teenagers, although their website is down, likely due to increased web traffic. Thank you, my love. Can you bring me a fork? Thank you. You find countless retail sites attempting to advertise their clothes towards the target audience. One of them has this to say: "You've spied the Roottrees sisters looking hella fly on catalogs, magazines, and posters. Now you too can be like Riley, Rose, or Raina." You also come across a website from a collector of clothing catalogs. Thank you, hon. Apparently, Root has released 2 catalogs per year every year since 1984, and Raina appears on almost all of them. There's only one that the webmaster considers a collector's item enough to mention. Interesting. Seems that Brenda Roottree, the Roottree sisters' mother and Root's head designer, appeared on one cover holding her daughter Rose in 1985. Oh, the site says this was the only time her daughter was ever listed with her birth name, Carly Roottree. Okay, so now we know that this is Carly. Interesting. Why would they call her Rose? Does everybody else have... Well, nobody else has, like, a real name. And she's married to TMS. Let's see if we can find somebody, maybe like Thomas Sheridan. I don't know their middle name, but... Alright, now we gotta figure out what they're doing. You discover a trivia page that lists common trick questions. The answer to what are the first names of the famous Roottree girls? Lists the answer: Raina, Carly, and Riley. The explanation below the answer states that Rose was originally born Carly Rose Roottree. Apparently, her parents had planned on having a son named Carl Roottree Jr., but after finding out they were having a second daughter, they called her Carly. Okay. Sometime in the early 90s, a now preteen Carly strongly expressed her dislike that her sisters had RH names and she was the odd one out. That's when she began to go by her middle name. Okay. I don't really want to highlight that, but how do I figure out what they're all up to today? A lot of obituaries. Okay, we're back on the website. Okay. So we can try maybe like Roottree candy or maple crisps. It's so fun to actually like type the stuff. Mixed in with the recent news of the plane crash, there are a lot of results for Roottree's extremely popular candy products. Their official website is unstable due to the traffic it's been receiving. However, you may find a direct link to the history section that manages to work momentarily. Aha, okay. The Roottree Candy Company was founded by Elias Roottree. Okay. I was just saying, like, is this all important? I'm sure it will be, because I think we're gonna do the sisters and then open up, I think, probably into the larger the larger family tree. Alright, the Roottree Candy Company was founded by Elias Roottree shortly after he married his wife Gwyneth. The family owned a small farm called the Anderson Maple Farm. For reasons that aren't explained on the page, it has no CEO and no stockholders. Instead, it's run by a president with inputs and votes from extended family. Site mentions every president has been a direct descendant of Elias and Gwyneth, including Carl Roottree, who despite his death is listed as the current president. Ah, the product that put them on the map were the 5 pieces. Maple candies with 5 different flavors that are dipped in a crispy, crackly candy coating. Since then, they've branched out to other products, all of which incorporate maple in some way. Probably because of the Anderson Maple Farm. Okay. Their sister company, simply titled Root, specializes in children's clothing. Primary models are the Roottree sisters. What are the 5 pieces? That sounds important. From marketing materials and various candy history sites, you learn that 5 pieces are the kind of candy sold by the Roottree Candy Company. Although they're no longer the company's only popular product, they still sell well to this day. 5 pieces are small, colorful, shell-coated maple candies that, since the late 20s, have been pressed in the shape of a maple leaf, although they usually have one flavor that looks more like a berry. As tastes have changed over the years, so have the 5 flavors, but the shape and combination with maple have remained consistent. There's also a history of print advertising website that claims to have 5 pieces advertisement scanned from a book called The Sweet History of Candy Volume 2 by Charles Lee. Unfortunately, when you click through the website, it seems like all their image links are broken. Can I maybe save this? Oh, you can spider search it. Okay. Interesting. Okay, what'd I say his name? Thomas Sheridan? Let's look him up. Thomas Sheridan. TMS is a common abbreviation for early 90s teen heartthrob Tommy Mark Sheridan. Ooh, it's like JTT. His first credited role as Thomas Sheridan was on a soap opera called Time Marches Onward. He skyrocketed to popularity after his starring role on the sitcom Brother Trouble. Since the end of Brother Trouble, he's often been on the cover of tabloids for his supposed drug use, and more recently, his relationship with Raina Roottrees. After a short engagement, they married in 1997 when she was only 19 and he was 23. Okay, that doesn't, I mean, are they all models? Or are they doing something else? Because they are models. Okay, and their mom's okay, do I just put model for them all? Like, is that what they all do? Oh. I thought maybe they would do something in addition to being models, but you never know. Okay. Well done! Oh, this immediately has, Return of the Obra Dinn vibes, where it's like, and he gives you like the special music, and it's like, well done, you got 3 new things locked in and correct. Because I'm trying to remember, like, we had to identify, oh, this is very much like Return of the Obra Dinn then, right? Because we identified who they were in the pictures, we had to get their name, and we had to get their job on the ship. Oh, and I think we also had to figure out where they ended up, but this is interesting. You've also locked the following optional entry, Thomas Sheridan. Booyah!
Sorry to test you, but I had to be sure.
Was she just standing outside the door the whole time?
Some folks refuse to get with the times. Safe to say, you're hired.
Oh, I can use the internet.
The reward for untangling the family tree is substantial. Life-changing.
You can say I've been doing it almost all my life.
Here's the catch.
Or all of the internet's life. Okay. Oh, there's a reward for untangling the family tree. Life-changing even? Are we a root tree? Is that what we find out?
The root trees go way, way back.
Okay.
The family tree's a bit daunting. Most people freak out the first time they see the whole
Ma'am, you don't understand how much I love puzzles. Okay. I don't think you understand. I figured out everybody on a ship, a ghost ship. Okay? The Roottrees, easy peasy.
The man
who started it was particular about whom he considered family. For your purposes, you only need his direct blood relatives.
Anyone related only by marriage is optional. But
I love optional.
Useful discoveries.
I love optional. I'll fill it all out.
Lastly,
I love completion.
You now have access to some unique websites, plus a list of notable
5 pieces ad. Okay. All right. Okay, we have access to some unique websites. A little sketchy. Plus a list of notable Roottrees.
Notable people are easy to find via your search engine and marked with stars on the family tree.
Okay. Marked with
I'm
stars.
Off now.
Got
Carl
it.
Roottrees had a lot in his office. I'll look for anything useful. I'll return once you identify 6 more blood relatives.
All right, 6 more. Let's go. Sorry, I'm like cutting up part of a pizza. I think I mentioned earlier I was napping shortly before stream, so I didn't get to eat anything yet. Oh, is she back? Ma'am!
Sorry, one last thing. This might sound odd, but if anyone else claiming to represent the Roottrees reaches out...
Uh-oh.
I'd appreciate you not mentioning I was here. Thank you, and good luck.
Oh no. This instantly feels sketchy. Who are you, ma'am? Uh-oh. Okay. So we're starring all the important people? Sleuth. Okay, 3 out of 9 before the person who hired you returns. Every time you get 3 additional blood relatives in the family completely correctly, it will be locked in. This is just like Return to the Obra Dinn. All non-blood relatives and small portraits are optional, but placing them in the tree helps remove extra names and photos. Okay. Whoa! Whoa! Hang on! Pause! It scrolls way over! Oh no! Okay. Alright. Okay. Oh, I'm so in for this. You can open this envelope after the whole family tree has been filled in. It has 2 names that must be typed in manually. The clues are obscure, have been intentionally hidden in the past, and may even require some leaps in logic. Try to keep an eye out for any inconsistencies. Sorry, y'all. I'm just so excited about this. 2 names that must be typed in manually. Hang on. Is it like this leads to something else? So the way it's laid out, is there like a secret child, a secret sibling or something, you know? Because it's like the 2 people that are married, and then it would go down from there it would go down to the children, but here it goes down to a child and off to a secret somebody? 2 names that must be typed in manually. The clues are obscure, have been intentionally hidden in the past, and may even require some leaps in logic. Try to keep an eye out for any inconsistencies. Dude, I'm so excited about this, y'all. Okay. In some places we have X's. Oh, they split up. And somebody's a guardian. Now here we have that red and white something rope again, or string or whatever. We got something going on here. They split up. Are they their kids or not kids, or we don't know? Okay. Family trees use surnames from birth, even if the person changed their last name after marriage. Always use a person's most recent occupation. Genealogy for dunces. Okay. Okay. Easy peasy. Okay. So it ended up here. I wonder if I should... Oh, once you verify this person, you'll be able to add bonus photos. Oh! Okay. This is a list of notable Roottrees. The person who hired you gave you this list and said that everyone on it can be found easily via your search engine. Roottrees sisters, Carl, Elias and Gwyneth, Gwyn, Red, Jim, Lauren, Miracle Jr. Any entry on the family tree that belongs to someone on this list will be marked with a star. Notable Roottrees will be crossed out after they are verified and locked. Okay. 5 pieces. Oh, this is the ad. Okay. So we've got cool chocolate, bad blue raspberry, awesome apple, power plum, and so strawberry. There's 5 flavors. Oh, because the original inventor had 5 kids. Maybe that's why kids still love them. Radical new flavors because it's no longer the 1920s. What even is an elderberry anyway? Truth. This is an advertisement for 5 pieces aimed at kids from the magazine Teen Blast. It mentions that the 5 pieces were named as such because the original creator had 5 children. The ad also mentions that the current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. Interesting. So I wonder what happened there. Alright. Roottrees sisters and their parents died on a plane crash December 6, 1998. Next evening, a shadowy figure appeared at our door, said their lawyers were looking to sort out the family tree. I'm now super suspicious of all this. I wasn't feeling suspicious at first, and then she was like, if anybody else comes in and says they're a representative of the Roottrees family, don't tell them I was here. And I'm like, oh, instantly shady. Oh, my Zony TV. My Zony TV. All right. Cool. Let's do some searching. Alright, let's just try Elias Roottrees and see what we can find. Okay. Founder and first president of the Roottrees Candy Company, you find was essentially a propaganda site about him created by the Roottrees Candy Company. At the top, a picture of him and his wife, Gwyneth. Added to our evidence. Love it. Cheek, 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 cheek. Famous picture of Elias and Gwyneth Roottrees taken in 1909 after they founded the Roottrees Candy Company, but before it was a success. And what you found searching the internet seems quite difficult to find any site about Elias or Gwyneth that isn't accompanied by this picture. Interesting. Elias and Gwyneth are on the notable Roottrees. They'll be marked on the chart with a star. Got it. What's so interesting about this picture? Is this their... This isn't a maple place, right? Maple trees don't look like this. And there's like a crate. Are they on an apple farm? His cravat, his ascot is green. Shiny clothes. Oh, he's blonde and she is maybe a redhead. That might matter. Okay. Okay. Why do we have unknown name and then Gwyneth over here? Oh, she was originally Gwyneth Anderson, right? Because people are on here by their maiden names. Or their birth names. And it was like the Anderson Maple Farm. And it was her farm, right? Yeah, before marrying Elias, Gwyneth Roottrees was Gwyneth Anderson. She had no brothers, so as the oldest sister, she was to inherit the Anderson Maple Farm, so long as she married. Before Elias took over, the farm produced only syrup. It was supposedly Elias's idea to create candy instead. Their success was not immediate until they decided to combine the maple flavor with the maple with other flavors. This led to the 5 pieces, which are still found in stores to this day. Though the Roottrees Candy Company expanded well beyond their original farm, has been preserved as a tourist attraction. According to the website, there are daily demonstrations and educational tours that show off many of the turn-of-the-century appliances that Gwyneth would have used as a housewife in the early 1900s. Okay. I mean, like, what would be her occupation? Is she a housewife? Yeah, as a housewife. I don't know if that's what she ended up doing. Dude, this game music. Alright, this is Elias. Roottrees. Unknown occupation. He's I was like, he was the first president of the company? Okay. Alright, now let's go down here maybe. Although one of these... Okay, how many kids? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. Okay. Oh, do we think maybe they had like a secret 6th kid? And it's not actually this person's kid, but they had a kid so late that they were like, your grandmother's actually your mom, and we adopted you because you were like such a huge age difference kind of a thing? It's like a thing that happens. Okay. Now, these girls, hang on, let me... Okay, we did that. Let's see what else is on this page for Elias before I move on. Okay, biography section. He's credited for inventing 5 pieces popular maple candy. Before that, the farm he inherited by marrying his wife only produced syrup. After the 5 pieces became wildly successful, spent his time and energy on cementing his reputation as a family man. He is quoted on the site as saying, "Blood is thicker than syrup," and that any child linked by blood to me shall be linked by blood to my legacy. The site enthusiastically claims he has made good on that promise, but offers no additional details. There's more quotes about Elias from a book called Family Man, The Roottrees Legacy by Bess Williams. I don't know why I keep... I don't know, highlight that. Save the note. I don't, book. Okay, can I go away? To say that they are biased is a massive understatement. Below that, there's a long list of accomplishments and awards. One stands out. Like his great-grandson Carl, Elias was voted Watchman of the Year. Okay, Business Watch magazines. Magazine focused on companies, CEOs, and the economy. Been around for over 100 years in one form or another, will often write about major changes in the management of famous companies. This game is like going to be almost hard to focus in on because like I find myself wanting to click on like every website we go to feels like it has multiple things that we can continue to search, but it's like I'm worried that I'll forget about them because I go down a rabbit hole that I forget where it came from. Oh no. Oh, but I guess we can do it history. Oh. Every year they offer an award to a prominent businessman who has furthered the field. They call this Watchman of the Year. You find through a few searches that two Roottrees have been featured as Watchmen of the Year, Elias and Carl. Business Watch does not host any online archives on any site you can find via spider search, though you may be able to find individual articles and issues through your periodical search. So Elias and Carl is his great-grandson. Elias's great-grandson. Okay. I don't know about these books. I don't know if it's important. Okay, let me go back to the Roottrees sisters. Okay. Their mom, Brenda. So this is Brenda. I'm guessing she must have been Brenda White. And then their dad was periodicals. Oh, Business Watch. Oh, Public Library. Okay, so all those book titles that I keep finding I can search. Okay, Root. Brenda Roottree. Carly, okay. And then I had tried... Actually, how much history does it save? Let's go back to Candy Company history. No, Roottrie Candy? Is that what I searched? Okay. Every president has been a direct descendant of Elias and Gwyneth, including Carl is the current president. So their dad is Carl, and he's the great-grandson. Right. Son, grandson, great-grandson. Okay, so this is Carl. So can I just search Carl Roottree then? Roottree. Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Of course, that's what I meant. Died in a recent plane crash along with his wife, Brenda, and their daughters, the Roottree sisters. He was president of the Roottree Candy Company as well as their clothing company, Root, which he co-founded with his wife. Short press release, released to date in news organizations. With a heavy heart that we mourn the loss of Carl, Brenda, and the Roottree sisters, and the other employees that perished in the terrible tragedy. The entire Roottree family is in shock and requesting privacy at this time. As the head of our company, Carl was an incredible man and unmatched leader. Filling his absence will be difficult, may take considerable time. In the interim, we hope you join us in looking back fondly on Carl and his family's triumphs and accomplishments. They're going to list some of those accomplishments. One of them seems relevant to your search. Yeah, he earned the Watchman of the Year title. Okay. Interesting. So, was he's the most recent president? And then, does that make him the 5th president? And we need a picture of him. Oh, interesting. We don't have a picture. I bet we need Business Watch magazine. Watchman of the Year? Okay. I thought maybe they would have a picture of him. Trying to see, like, how would I get a picture of him? What is this? Oh, additional pictures. Okay. Because I have pictures of them. keep trying to like right click on the screen to drag it, but that's not how it works. Okay. How do I find a picture of Carl? I don't have anything in here. They didn't put a picture of him on the news or anything? Like, come on. Whoa. Oh, Riot Girl. I can explore my house here. The Notorious Montjoys. Maybe I do like genealogy mystery comics. Oh, okay, back at our computer. This, what's over here? Oh, that's where our okay. Just got some pictures and stuff. Nobody at the door. What's through here? We don't know. Okay. Slowly spinning pan. What's this? Oh, that's our notebook. Okay, and then this is a rubber duck. Oh! Don't know where to look next. If you're completely stuck, try talking it through with your rubber duck. No, thank you. Get out of here. I'm getting a little bit stuck. What's this? Oh! Deep Dive by Manuel Trabuco. Okay. Return to game. Okay, so, right. Business watch. I feel like two things have, like, sent us to this right here. Magazine focused on companies, CEOs, and the economy. Been around for over 100 years. Often write about major changes in management, famous companies. Watchman of the Year. To a prominent businessman who furthered the field. Okay. You may be able to search individual articles and issues through your periodical search. But we already did this. Okay. Back to 5 pieces. Because this is like related to Elias and Gwyneth's like 5 children. Okay. So this. Can I copy this and search the public library for this book? Okay. By Charles Lee. Okay. Did something just print? Okay. Oh, newspaper ad. Okay. This is part of a book series about all things candy in the modern world. Starts in 1925, continues onward to chronicle the rise of mass production and global distribution. The book ends with a look into the future of candy as envisioned by the experts in 1985. With the addition of hindsight, you can clearly see they they got pretty much everything wrong. But we got some evidence. Oh. Okay. Oh. It's a miracle, a modern candy for a modern society. Roottrees' 5 pieces contain 5 different maple-infused flavors, proud family business, and our flavors are inspired by our children. G is for grape, E is for elderberry, C is for cinnamon extract, M is for melon, and introducing M for miracle berry. We know that there's some people in the family named Miracle. Miracle berry is a burst of beautiful blossoming blended berries. Try it today. Do we think this is like their initials? Like the newest flavor, the youngest, Miracle Berry? Can you imagine naming your kid Miracle? Alright, you must be Miracle. What else did we have? M, C, E, and G. And presumably everybody's last name is Roottree. Alright, so I need another M. So G-E-C-E. Maybe we can do C-E. It's probably Carl Edward or whatever. Clancy Edward. It would be C-E. Then this one would be another M. That's kind of hard. Oh, but if it's not Miracle, maybe it's Marguerite. And this one was G and E, right? Gwyn or Gwendolyn. Her name was Gwyneth. Let's see if there's anything. Edward, Elias. We have Elias. Oh, is this Elias Jr. maybe? Right. Okay. But none of these are notable people. So I can't just like search them, right? If I just search them, I don't know if it'll come up with anything. Oh, I guess so. The Clansed, pronounced Clansed, Clancy Edward Clansed. The Clansed Trust is a highly unusual corporate arrangement named after Clancy Edward Roottree, who was Elias's son and the Roottrees Candy Company's head lawyer at the time. Interesting. Due to its unique nature, it's often brought up in online discussions about financial matters and inheritance as an oddity. Every company mandates that a fixed percentage of its profits are split every quarter amongst bank accounts representing each direct relative of Elias and Gwyneth. The company mandates that a fixed percentage of its profits are split every quarter amongst bank accounts representing each direct relative of Elias and Gwyneth. Okay, an account is created for each blood relative at birth and first accessible when they reach 18. The actual numbers have never been fully disclosed to the public, but due to the ever-increasing success of the company, it's a significant amount of money. The Clansed Trust is known for being essentially impossible to get around due to many checks and balances written into it. Still, there have been few situations in which family members have tried to forcibly remove another member from the trust. Most details online are pretty vague since the matters are handled internally. The only information you discover is from a university law school, which apparently had a guest lecturer talk about Roottrees versus RR in 1994. While looking into the Clansed Trust, you often find mentions to the 5-piece guarantee, which went into effect at the same time. Okay, spider search that. 5-piece guarantee in combination with the Clansed Trust was Elias Roottree's attempt to ensure the Roottrees Candy Company would remain a family business for eternity. In isolation, it's somewhat baffling. The yearly salary of the Roottrees president is always locked to the price of a single pack of 5 pieces. What? The yearly salary of the Roottrees president is always locked to the price of a single pack of 5 pieces. When the 5 pieces guarantee went into effect, this was 25 cents a year, now it's closer to $4. So the yearly salary of their president is $4? Combined with the Clansed Trust, however, makes a bit more sense. Elias wanted to ensure that only his direct relatives could afford to be president, because he knew that their passive income was tied to the profits of the company. Oh, they would have a vested interest in keeping the company as profitable and successful as possible. So they couldn't, by becoming president, they couldn't like artificially increase their salary. They're still locked into, you only get that percentage, an equal percentage of the profits of the company. Whether or not this was a smart or successful decision is widely debated both online and in person by economic enthusiasts of all levels of expertise. Okay, now let's look at the Roottrees versus RR. You'll find very few details about this particular incident in regards to the Clansed Trust. A student that attended the lecture wrote about it on the following on a Legal Oddities website. From what you can tell, RR attempted to unsuccessfully remove a fellow family member from the trust. It is said that RR attempted 2 arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock, and second, they committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. Still, due to the ironclad wording of the Clansed Trust, it was impossible to remove any direct descendant of Elias Roottree without completely dissolving the trust. Notifications. I feel like I need to remember this. Okay, in 1994. Okay. Let's highlight this. Roottrees versus RR. Someone was born out of wedlock. And significant crime against family member. And it's versus RR. So who's named RR in our list of people, out of curiosity? Robert or Ronald Roottrees, maybe? Interesting. Also, this one had E is for elderberry, and then this one is like, no, elderberry has changed. What even is an elderberry anyway? Oh, wait. Oh. You've been in this line of work a long time. This is what intuition is. So long, in fact, you've developed a sixth sense for how useful your evidence can be. The numbers in the magnifying glass refer to how many clues are connected to a specific piece of evidence. Higher the number, the more there is to find. Start of your search, the notables list sets off alarm bells. A list of famous people that you can find via search engine. It's pretty rare to get something that useful. Best take advantage of it. I will. As you progress, these numbers will change. Whenever you find more evidence or lock in family members, new discoveries will be added to lists and old evidence will become less useful. Trust your intuition. A piece of evidence seems too good to be true. Take a closer look at the people or phrases it mentions. Often the most satisfying revelations come from retracing a path you thought was fully explored, armed with a new perspective. Sometimes the reason certain evidence has such high value is because it can lead to finding more evidence you may be missing a huge piece of the puzzle. Okay. So, grape, elderberry, cinnamon extract, melon, and miracleberry. But now it's like chocolate, raspberry, strawberry, apple, plum. Okay. So, it's not like not just like one piece changed. They all changed. But what even is an elderberry anyway? I thought there was something specific about like elderberry. Miracleberry is a burst of beautiful blossoming blended berries. Okay. Alright. Let's just search Gwyn Roottrees then. Gwyn Roottrees. You find some information on a website about old films that are not yet available on VHS. The site is not very well organized, search is broken, but you can get to individual pages from your search engine. Gwyn Roottrees is a somewhat well-known actress who was active in the 1950s. She often appeared in tabloids, especially around the time of her highly publicized divorce. Okay, so I guess the question is, who's been divorced to? Split up, split up, split up. And is a notable person. So it was a notable person who was divorced, which means that this has to be Gwyn. Right, Gwyn Roottrees. And she was an actor. And did we get a picture? We got a picture of, we got something on the evidence table. Ah! Aha! A widely circulated photo of Gwyn Roottrees you've seen on multiple websites about old films. Okay, got her. So let's lock her in, maybe? Aha, we got 3 more. There we go. Well done. Woo! We got 3 out of the 50, or 6 out of 50 now, right? Okay, we also got Brenda White, who was the Roottrees sisters' mom. Booyah! Okay. Okay. Her biggest role was the minor hit movie Guys Like Us. She left Hollywood after the flop of Christmas Mission. There's a widely circulated picture of Gwyn from behind the scenes in one of her movies, which you've added to evidence. Did you know she's a granddaughter of Elias Roottrees, etc., etc.? She shouldn't have been named Roottrees, but her father took her mother's famous name, which was quite rare in those days. Okay, That's true, because her mom was her mom was the Roottrees daughter. And then her father took her mom's last name. Okay. Is there anything else to look at in that picture too? It's like on set at the movie, right? I feel like she's got blue eyes, she's got her ears pierced, a neck, I don't know. I don't know what's important. This game is so fun. Okay, let's look up, well, I guess let's search Guys Like Us first, maybe? Okay, Guys Like Us is a 1953 film in which two secretaries cut their hair short and pose as businessmen to get ahead in life until one of them falls in love with their client, and hilarity ensues. Starring Gwyn Roottrees, Leslie Florence, and Harrison Lane. Did you know that the title is a play on words, as it can be read that the two women are men similar to other men, or that the men are fond of them? Wait, what? That the two women are men similar to other men, or that the men are fond of... Oh, Guys Like Us, or Guys Like Us. Okay. I get it. Do we think that one of these people, Leslie Florence or Harrison Lane, is her husband? Let's go back and search the other one. Christmas Mission is on a page called Flops. It was a war movie about World War I released in 1955. Oh wait, hang on. 1955. Oh, it doesn't say when her divorce was. Okay. Released in 1955 that had received poor reviews and lost studio money. Gwyn Roottrees had a role as a soldier's wife who wrote him letters from home. You find no additional relevant information. Marketed as an incredible true story, but no record of the events happening has ever been found. I wonder if we have either of those guys. Leslie Florence. Although, is Leslie a girl's name? Fair payback from all the stuff. My mom and I are getting dinner. Hope things are going well. They're going great. This is very fun. Do we think Leslie Florence is a female name? And maybe Harrison Lane is a guy's name? Do I have either of those on here? I don't. So maybe neither of them is her husband. Or ex-husband, as it were. Okay. Let's search somebody else. Let's search Red Roottrees. Aloysius Herring Roottrees. No wonder he went by Red. He was an appointed judge and politician. Huh. Gotta get that hydrating in. Okay, he's an appointed judge and politician who earned his nickname ironically because he was the ambassador to Ireland for only about 6 days. He served what some people contend is the shortest term in history. A few days after he was appointed, he was heard disparaging his position and the Irish people. He then tried to run for state senate. He claimed to be related to the Roottrees Candy Company in a newspaper ad, but it came out that the last name was merely a coincidence, and he was defeated in a landslide? What? Claimed to be related to the Roottrees Candy Company in a newspaper ad, but it came out that the last name was merely a coincidence. Interesting. Where would he go on here? I don't even know. He goes... Fairy Orb, I didn't even catch that. He goes by Red and his middle name is Herring. You are so right. He's a red herring. That's a... Fair, you are brilliant. I wonder where he'll go in here. If he goes anywhere. He's not blood related, right? Unless he is. Okay, we need... highlights. Not a blood relative? But maybe. Maybe. I can't type. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, let's see who else is on our notable list. Oh! They did not put a red fish next to him. Oh my goodness. Maybe he is just a red herring. That's so funny. Alright, Jim Roottrees. James Roottrees is a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond with his wife Diamond LaRue. The duo, according to many sources you find, is considered a one-hit wonder due to the disco song Rollin' On Down to the City. It's now in your evidence folder. Sweet. Although Jim writes the majority of the songs, plays the guitar, and often sings, Diamond is considered by the fans to be the band's lead singer. The band never had another hit, but has its fans who refer to themselves as Diamond's Dazzlers. It's the Zoom! Hi, video! Hi! Welcome to the stream. Feel free to lurk. Especially if you... I don't know if you've played this one yet, but already I highly recommend it. And if you want to avoid spoilies, I totally understand. Alright, so they refer to themselves as Diamond's Dazzlers. That's depressing if you're Jim. The rest of their music is more folksy and acoustic. Stopping in to say hi. Oh, you're about to go to an escape room. Hope stream is going well. Yes, this is on my list. Then absolutely yes, avoid spoilers. It's so far, it's so much fun. It is just like Return of the Obra Dinn. And I'm excited about it. It's like the same but different. It's if the Return of the Obra Dinn involved computer searches in 1998. It's so good. And I want to hear all about your escape room at some point because I love escape rooms. Probably. I feel like that's probably obvious that I like escape rooms. Just if you like watch the video games that I play on here. And we're going to be doing one in a couple weeks, I think, for my sister's birthday. She wanted to know if we wanted to go do one, and I was like, yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're doing one in like 3 weeks, and I'm just like, maybe 4 weeks, and I'm like excited for it. Oh. If you didn't like escape rooms, Paris, I would be shocked. Yeah, it's true. We don't do them nearly enough for as much as I love them, which we probably should. But, like, it's also, like, finding other people who want to do one. Because, I mean, I guess we could go do them just me and my husband, which we talked about before. But then it's, like, it's more fun when you're doing them as a group of people. I remember last time my parents came to visit me, it was so funny because I think our son was, like, 5 months old. And we wanted to go, I wanted to take my parents to do an escape room. So we took the baby with us. And it was like, I can't remember, like Curse of the Mayan Temple or something like that. And so, like, our baby is just chilling in his stroller in the middle of the escape room while the rest of us are, like, running around trying to do stuff. And he did so good. I don't even remember him, like, cry. I think he cried, like, a little bit. But for the most part, he did so good. But yeah, our baby did his first escape room at 5 months old. Yeah, so good. And it was fun because at the end, initially we were like, oh, we only have like 4 players or whatever. But at the end when they wrote down like the name of the thing and they wrote down like our time and they wrote down number of players, 5. Because it was my parents, me and my husband, and our baby. All right, let's see. So they have continued to release music through the 80s and early 90s. Other albums you find mentioned are Cherry Tree and Sound of Laughter. Jim's a bit of a recluse, hasn't made a public appearance since 1996. Actually, hang on, let's look at this real quick. Okay. Get these pictures. Rolling on down to the city, as seen in MMM. Only the great-grandson of Elias Roottrees could make disco this sweet. Peter Janowitz, MMM. I wonder if MMM is a, Dude, this is so fancy looking. Baller. I wonder if MMM is a magazine we can find. Rolling On Down to the City was barely a top 20 hit for a few weeks in 1979. According to the liner notes, it satirizes how a part of society was content to remain indifferent to economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East, unless pop culture tricked them into caring. Somewhat ironically, listeners didn't seem to pay attention to the lyrics enough to trick them into caring. Instead, most of its play came from roller discos. That's why it was such a product, or blah, blah, blah. Because it was such a product of its time, it doesn't get much play anymore, even on stations that play oldies, and maybe that's why you've never heard of it before now. The image is from an auction for a sealed copy. It has a sticker that says only the great-grandson of Elias Rootree could make disco this sweet. It's credited to Peter Janowitz from MMM. Music and lyrics by Jim Rootree, vocals by Jim Rootree and Diamond LaRue. Jim Rootree is on the notable Roottrees list near evidence. He's marked on the chart with a star. The lyrics of this song contain no clues. We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the city. Okay. I'm not gonna read all this then if it's like politicians at large are all hopeless, bankers in charge are all clowns, a party sell better than protests, so signs up while we boogie down, 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 down. I mean, you know, they should release this song now and see how it does. I wonder if Peter Janowitz is music critic. Find him mentioned on a fan website about a band You find him mentioned on a fan website about a band unrelated to the Roottrees. He used to work for Modern Music Monthly before the magazine went under. Okay, oh, we got a new periodical. MMM is abbreviation for Modern Music Monthly, a magazine from the 40s to the early 80s, went out of business due to high competition from much more major publications. Okay. Janowitz? Okay, I don't know. Maybe I spelled Janowitz wrong. Oh well. Let's see. Okay. So he's a notable person, and he is the great-grandson of Elias Rootree. So, son, grandson, great-grandson. So he's on this great-grandson tier. And he's a notable one, which means this has to be him. And he's James Rootree. He is a singer? No, he is a musician. And this is him. And this is his wife, Diamond LaRue. And we can put some pictures in for her. Okay, I feel like we got that one. Still don't have a picture for Carl Rootree, which is crazy to me. Alright, then they had 2 kids. Also, we have a couple other LaRues, though, right? We have Rafferty LaRues and Jane and Kim LaRue. But why would they be LaRues and not Roottrees? You know what I mean? Like, how else are the LaRue people involved in this family? Okay, we've got another person of interest over here. That's Jim Rootree, but oh, it'll be crossed out after they are verified and locked. Okay, let's try Lauren Rootree. Author Lauren Rootree was a distant relative of the Rootree sisters, best known for her book A Life Between Wars. Pizza, pizza. God, I'm hungry. According to a website about famous authors in the early 1960s, Lauren released a few romance novels under her married name, Lauren Rafferty, to little fanfare. When her publisher learned she had been keeping diaries about her famous family, they insisted she release them under her original name, Lauren Rootree, to take advantage of her family's notoriety. Selection of diary... Oh, she'd been keeping diaries about her family. And they released them. Interesting. Selection of diary entries released in 1965 as A Life Between Wars spans from the untimely death of her husband in World War II to coping with the post-war world as a young widow and mother, as well as her perspectives on changing times and socialites all the way through the entry into Vietnam. While content is not considered particularly relevant to modern audiences, it's found new life as an exercise in high school English classes to show an evolution in writing style and for a look into life in previous generations. After the success of her diaries, her publisher re-released her romance novels under the name Lauren Rootree, and this included Romance in Court, which gained popularity. She followed the re-release up by writing 2 new sequels, creating what fans referred to as the Court Jester series. You'll find no recent details about Lauren, though she is listed as retired. Huh. So she was married to a Rafferty. She was an author, although now she is retired. Let's see if we can highlight this book. Don't find any copies. You do find that because the diary has been reprinted recently, it's available in a lot of libraries. Okay. So it was what? Lauren Roottrees. Life Between Wars. Seems you've hit the jackpot here. This book is occasionally taught. This is a book occasionally taught in schools. You can find a hardcover edition for students that has full-page, high-quality pictures. Dude, we're getting so many things. A summary of the contents of the book, photos, as well as some particularly relevant entries from the diary have been added to your evidence. Ooh, jackpots! Let's go. Life Between Wars. Who are these people? Alright, below are notes and observations you made while skimming through Lauren Roottrees' diary pages in A Life Between Wars. Okay, she's on the notable things. Great. A book published in 1965 consists of diary entries from 1940 to 65. The most important event that much of the diary and Lauren's thoughts revolve around was the loss of her husband, Jacob. Jacob died in the final months of World War II while Lauren was pregnant. This left her to raise her son, Clark, alone. Lauren never remarried and only had one child. By skimming the pages of the diary, you glean the following information. She was the granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth on her father's side. Okay, so she is the granddaughter through one of their sons. Okay. So we still don't know if Miracle is someone. Okay, so on the grandkids side, there's a notable person here. Which would make sense if they had a son and they had one person and then they had one child and that was it. It could also be this person if Miracle is a son, then you could have this be them and then their one son. Her mother's family was called the Kossels, but she hardly ever mentions them. Her father, who she always referred to as Pop, was the head lawyer. Okay, the head lawyer is Clancy Edward. Okay. And was head lawyer for the Roottrees Candy Company to help write a legal document called the Clancy Trust. Okay, so this is her then over here. Because Clancy Edward Clancy. And she was their first child? Retired author, I'm guessing. And then this is her. And then her husband was something Rafferty. Jacob Rafferty? Jacob Rafferty. And this is him. Okay. So we've got her. And then they had a son, Clark. The question is he Clark Roottrees or Clark... No, he's Clark Rafferty. Okay. Okay. It's clear from context that the Roottrees have internal shorthand names for the different generations of their family. Lauren uses them often. 5 Pieces, the first generation of children by Gwyneth and Elias. Lauren's father was in this generation. The next generation is Lauren's generation. And, oh, that's the next generation. Okay. Star Trek. And then the one after that is the Free Spirits. And that includes her son. Okay. No, I didn't really want... There, I want this. How do I... Oh, here we go. An entry entitled Complaints from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 1953. The entry seems to focus specifically on one of Lauren's family members, Gwyn, who is on the notable Roottrees list. Now, real quick, though... We had done Gwyn, right? Gwyn was this actor. So the only other G root tree, there were only a couple. Gwendolyn. Let's put Gwendolyn in because it was G, E, C, E, M, and M. And we used up Gwyn here, so we can put in Gwendolyn here. Alright. Seems like, it seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwyn, as an only child, maybe this is before they had kids, or more kids. As an only child complaining of loneliness, I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing. Wait, what? Oh, Gwyn. Gwyn as an only child. Okay, got it. Gwyn was an only child. Okay. Okay. Told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. So, okay, so Lauren had 3 younger brothers. During the summer where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot, I hoped she would be the sister I never had and that I'd do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit in with the 2 of them. What a mess. She just complained. To her, I was the lucky cousin. Now she's off living the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. I must admit, seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Her visage stares at me even now from my coffee table. She gets to be in Starlet and tell tales of how she gallivants around the world, kissing the likes of Harrison Lane and Wild Bill Williams. Oh, I wonder if Wild Bill Williams is a thing. She's the first root tree woman to be anything other than a housewife. She's the first one to be anything other than a housewife. So, you're a housewife. And you're a housewife. At least the previous generation. Ace, Medio, and Ferio, and M. And we're all in chat, and we're hanging out. Okay. Dr. Peppy. I love Dr. Pepper so much. I wonder if Wild Bill Williams was her husband, though, because we tried to search Harrison Lane, and he didn't come up on the list. Let's try Williams. No. And there was no one Lane. Harrison Lane? No. Okay, so it's neither of those guys that she's been kissing. Okay. She's the first Roottrie woman to be anything other than a housewife, and I am jealous. If I were not a single mother, could I make my own way in this world? You just got a Dr. Pepper. You could really use water. Hydrated. Oh. Pages from your second draft edit for a paper. Oh, goodness gracious. I hope I never have to write another big paper. Unless I want to. Ever again in my life. Haven't had water all day and you're so thirsty? Surely if you're still at the hospital, they have water somewhere. Maybe somebody could get some for you? There's gotta be water somewhere. Water. Yeah, I just finished my diet, Dr. Peppy. And I did make sure that I had water. You ate too many carrots for your eyes and now your tummy hurts? Oh no! Are you trying to improve your eyesight by eating a bunch of carrots? I don't know. Does that actually help? Not currently at the hospital. We are out getting food. Maybe Food Place has water? Be like, hey, can I get a cup of water if you're there? Or can I get a cup of water to go? If you're just picking up food? Ugh. I feel like I definitely need more water. Oh, there's crumbs on my shirt. All day yesterday and today I've been tiling our bathroom. And I think it's probably just the fact that I had mortar all over my hands. But holy cow, the skin on my hands is like falling apart. And I can't tell if it's just like so dry. Or if it's because I'm also like dehydrated that my hands, because normally when I'm dehydrated and stuff and the air is dry, like my hands get very like cracked and stuff. Or if it's because I've been doing tiling, they look awful. But hopefully I'll be able to finish the tiling tomorrow by putting the grout down on. I'm not sure what the verb is for that. But yeah, I'll be glad when that is done. Alright, let's see. Lauren Roottrees. I'm off topic. A girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me, and now, though I have been undoubtedly burdened by a terrible tragedy, I'm also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. That's true. She's a blood relative, so she was going to get a portion of the proceeds forever. Which is interesting because it's just like the more and more children these people all have, the more their shares go down. Like the more their percentages of everything goes down. So it feels like, I mean, maybe the company's just making more and more money over time, but are they losing money because they keep having, like, descendants? I can raise a child without worry, unlike the countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightly scoff, just like I do at Gwyn. Okay. What's that? It looked like it did, like, a exclamation point or something. I don't know. An entry titled Dynasty from Lauren Roottrees. Actually, wait, hang on, pause. I wanted to look up this movie, Starlet. Oh, Starlet was a magazine that started with the colorization of film, went until around 1964. Generally a tabloid with a focus on famous actors and actresses. Didn't much go into any other aspects of filmmaking or Hollywood news. Would Starlet be the one that had her, information about her divorce? Okay, aha! Most mentions were around the time of her divorce in 1958 from Wild Bill Williams. Was Wild Bill Williams not on my thing? Wild Bill Williams. Eloise. Maybe we need to search Wild Bill Williams. Hang on. Spider search Wild Bill Williams. I got really confused on where the random jazz music was coming from. It's from us. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really digging this music. I could just like have this kind of music on in my house all day and be super happy. Like, it makes me feel like I'm in a cool coffee shop. Okay, Wild Bill Williams was leading man of some non-notable movies in the 1950s. He appeared in an adventure movie called Fortune Favors the Grave, which has yet to be released for home audiences. You don't find any additional information about that film. Known for his good looks and off-screen romances, specifically with blondes, he was married four different times to four different actresses. There's a famous Hollywood rumor that he even approached Marilyn Monroe at a party and that she was already aware of his reputation. Did you know Wild Bill grew up in Paris, France, and he returned there often? So Wild Bill Williams definitely seems like a... what do you call that? When people have, like, fake names that aren't their real names, but it's, like, their famous name. Is there a word for it? It's like a pen name, but, like, for actresses or so. I don't know. Actors. Other famous people. Musicians sometimes, where you're like, oh, rapper so-and-so. It's like their stage name? Stage name? Is that... okay. So this just takes us to the same thing. Alright, gossip, speculative, full of tabloid stereotypes. Some of it focused on the fact that when she announced her divorce, she also announced she was pregnant again? But she only has one kiddo, right? Or does she? I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Let's see. Others mentioned the rumor that Wild Bill had multiple affairs, which left her heartbroken. Sure. Also, an interview from earlier mid-1957 where she was asked about her last name. She answered, "The power of a name is undeniable. My grandfather constantly preached the importance of family names and honoring them. My father decided to bless me with a famous name. There's nothing wrong with Cornwall, but Roottrees has power. My husband similarly goes by Wild Bill. It's an infamous name he repurposed for himself because he didn't have the benefit of being born with a famous one. But Wild, combined with the alliteration Williams, is incredibly memorable." Although we've relocated to Paris, I know your readers love to keep up with my husband, so consider this a Starlit exclusive about the both of us. While Bill and I have a child on the way, and we're sticking with Roottrees for the last name, not Williams. We also plan to lean into alliteration. That's how we'll honor both of our family names for the next generation. Cornwall. So his last name was Cornwall? Okay. So his last name was Cornwall, but he was like, I'm gonna give you a more powerful last name, and he even took the last name Roottree. Okay. So this is her spouse. Now, is there like a French-sounding name somewhere? Men, Walter Forsyth? Guy? Could be Guy Hudson? David Kellogg, Mark Landon. Oh, would it be like a LaRue? No, all the LaRues are female. Ernest Madsen, James Morden, Zachariah Morden, Chris Rafferty. Rafferty LaRue. There's all the Roottrees. Nicole, Jason Wilson, Stephen Wilson, Zach Wilson. Chris Rafferty? I don't know. Can I... unknown name. I mean, unknown male. Okay. So, we've relocated to Paris. Sticking with Roottrees. We also plan to lean into alliteration. So it's to our names. That's okay. Can I highlight this? So Gwynn's children, alliteration. RR. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. So this one is an entry. Punchy LaRue. Oh. For a second I was like, what? My brain. Yes, LaRue. Punchy LaRue. That's us. Alright. An entry entitled Dynasty from Lauren Rootree's diary, written in 1958. It focuses on the day her grandfather Elias announced he would step down as president of the Rootree Candy Company and the meeting to determine his successor. I wish I'd been a fly on the wall today. Clancy told me that everyone got quite heated. Granddad was furious that none of his sons would take over as president, but that's what he gets for holding on to it for so long. With architects, preachers, and lawyers, nobody's got time for candy. Okay, hang on. Did I ever put in that he was a lawyer? I know we knew that, but... Preachers. And what else? What else? Architects, preachers, and lawyers. So, Elias Jr. is either an architect or a preacher. And then maybe Miracle. Maybe Miracle is a preacher. Interesting. Let me highlight this. 5 pieces. Oh. 5 pieces occupations. Male. 5 pieces occupations. It came down to us next gens. So whoever the next president was not from their generation. It skipped over one. President. Interesting, he was furious that none of his sons would take over as president. Like, Is there a reason it couldn't be one of his daughters? Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family since we have the Roottrees name. Not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who was volunteered. Instead, it ended up going to Zach. Even though his surname doesn't match the candy, he's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. Okay. So, somewhere over here, then, firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece, this is Zach. Okay, but we don't know... Oh. Whoever he was president the second. Okay. And it's just Zach. Oof. Okay. Even though his surname doesn't match the candy, he's the firstborn son of the first... Okay. Not sure how that's relevant to running a company, but Granddad always had very particular views when it came to his bloodline. I asked Clancy if it ever came up that a woman could take over. After all, Angie's older than Zach, and I'm the next oldest of us all, but he just laughed. I'll never forget the cuss words Pop used when he told Ma it wouldn't go to us. Mother, the ever quick-witted, at least with catty remarks, countered back. Maybe they wanted it to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. Ooh, snap. Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Okay. So her father argued that it should stay within our branch of the family. Angie is older than Zach, and I'm the next oldest of us all. But she's the oldest of... Okay. Pop argued at length. This is interesting. Pop argued at length that the company should stay within our branch of the family since we still have the Roottrees name. Why wouldn't the previous son... Damn. Yeah. Why wouldn't Elias Jr., why wouldn't their son have the Roottrees name? You know what I mean? Like, that's weird. Okay. Like I could play this game forever. Okay, let's look at the next page. An entry entitled Sam from Lauren Roottrees' diary written in 1963. From previous entry, you learn that Elias Roottree had given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time. Lauren writes, "Why Sam? I have many distant relatives I've never met. After all, Granny has sisters, and Granddad had a brother or two." Wait, what? Granny. So, Gwyneth, right? Granny had sisters, and Granddad had a brother or two. So he has a brother or two. So there's more. I mean, obviously, like, this family tree goes off, but... But I was told, trim their branches from the family tree, so why is Sam so special? I'm gonna take just a second here and turn down... There we go, the audio, just a little. They got kind of loud for me there. Okay. Oh, we've got a photo. Hang on here. Okay. But I was told, trim their branches from the family tree, so why is Sam special? Nothing adds up. I'm not the only one to realize. Okay, so maybe this is what... I don't know. Who is Sam? Who is Sam? Angie summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwyn's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. Uncle Junior is Elias Jr. Okay. Wedding to Patsy. Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy? I don't have a Patsy. I don't have a Patsy? Oh, come on, game. Alright. At the reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. What is going on? Okay, Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farm hands, EC and John, when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Upon hearing that, Zach checked the records and managed to confirm all three are on the books. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother. Okay, so she must have a brother named Eli, and Miracle's youngest is a boy named Eli as well. Miracle's youngest, Eli? Oh, but is it Elias C or Elias M? Okay. Alright. Dang. Apparently when he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli certainly seems thrilled. At the end of the day, nothing explains why an outsider is cozied into family affairs, especially one who works on the farm of all places. Whatever happened to blood is thicker than syrup? Why is Granddad making an exception now? Oh, dang, who is Sam? So Elias Roottrees had given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. She'd been pushing... Okay. Nothing adds up. I'm not the only one to realize. Angie summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwen's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. At the reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farm hands EC and John when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Okay. So Miracle has two boys. Oh man, okay, alright. Oh, okay. Clark. One of the final entries called Clark from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 1964. I'm sure we'll get more information that'll kind of like help us figure all this out later. Clark's getting married, and in my opinion, far too young. He's barely 18 for God's sakes, and Danielle isn't much older. But openly confronting them would make me a hypocrite. After all, Jacob and I got married at 16. Alright, so Clark, her son. Clark is married to Danielle. Oh, but it looks like it did not work out. And he marries somebody else and maybe has a kid, then he marries somebody else. Okay. Alright. Clark, like the rest of his generation, is a free spirit. What else do you call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend? They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. The only one who has any discipline is Carl, and that's because Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. So she's talking about Carl Roottrees, who's the current president. Okay. The one who just died. We've been getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seem to pursue passive knowledge, and the most rebellious thing any of us ever did was bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Interesting. My brothers all seem to... Okay. So this is her brothers here. And one of them brought home someone who was likely black. I would imagine. Anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department once he retires. So somebody named Edward. Okay. As for me, my first published book, Swashbuckle My Heart, is based on the pirate stories I used to invent with Jacob when we were walking in the woods after school. I think he'd be proud that Clark and I are carrying on his name. Aww. Even my cousins are doing well. Zach's not a bad president after all, and his sister seemed to be doing a good job raising her twins. His sister had twins. Okay. So, this is an unknown female. We know that at least. This is an unknown male whose name is Zach, but we don't know which Zach. And then we know that these are both males. So I can stick those in. And I would bet if these are both It's probably Miracle Jr. You know what I mean? And then this is probably like Miracle the Third. I had to make a guess at it. Okay. Gwen is Gwen, but at least she came out of the divorce with her head held high. She even told us she might come home next year so we can meet her kids. With the Free Spirits and any other family, they'd all end up on the streets. Even Clark. Interesting. Let's take a look at these pictures. I hate to say it, but is this Zach? Was clearly depicted as being heavier than the rest. Lauren's diary contains some labeled pictures. This is the next generation. Caption: in an attempt to recapture the spirit of the fifth photo, the 5 pieces photo with our generation. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna go back to this one then. Alright, let's get these people in here. Now, what's going on in the background? Now, who's that? Is that Sam? Do we think that's Sam? Okay. And she's got like a necklace of some kind. Now, who's this kiddo with the eye patch? He's clearly the youngest, so this must be Miracle? Eye patch. So some of them are blonde, some of them are brown haired. I wonder if this is... Okay. Oh, wait, let's see. This picture was famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. Okay. So that is her Pop. So that's Clancy, what's his face? Well done. Sweet. Booyah! So now the person's supposed to be coming back.
You're on a roll. I'll try to keep that momentum going. Carl's office was a mess, thanks to some burst pipes.
Burst pipes?
But I unearthed a photo from a 1970s Roottrees reunion.
Okay.
I also found some important-looking papers.
Look at all this Shiva kid. What in the world is happening? Okay.
You've traced 9 blood relatives so far. I'll have more to share after you find 9 more.
Sure. Sure thing, mysterious lady. Alright. Okay. Let me finish off this if I can. It was taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it. And the 3 of us were all about the same age. We were told only the 5 pieces, which really didn't go over so well to say the least. Eventually, I was supposed to stop the tantrums. They posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Wait, what? Eventually, I was supposed to stop the tantrums. They posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. I found out years later they never even took a second photo. Dang. Okay. So, if this is Miracle and this is Clancy Edward, then this must be Elias Jr.? And then we have the 2 women. So if this woman is blonde, then it's probably right that this is Marguerite. And that this is Gwendolyn. So if we have Elias Jr., we could say, is he the architect? Or was he the preacher? Because I feel like the name Miracle would be the preacher. Okay. Perfect. So Miracle over here is our preacher. Which means I can get rid of this note. Okay. Alright. Okay, so Miracle, and then this must be Sam. Alright. They posed us in the front of the camera than Mr. Morden. I wonder if it's Sam. No. Okay. Who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Unless it's like her spouse's name. Would it be a Zachariah Morden? Or would it be James Morden and then the son is Zachariah Morden? And he was the second president, which we'll get to his photo in a minute. Then that must mean they're all probably Morden. Angelica, Carolyn, or maybe Gwendolyn. And then three more Mordens. But if these are both female, so these are 3 female Mordens, which we have 3 female names. They were married to men, and that's why they have a different last name. That's fine. Okay, let's take a look at the other photo then. Not that one. Where was the next generation down? There it is. Okay, so this guy, I believe, is Zach. Then, okay. This is next generation. Okay, so in an attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5 pieces photo with our generation, for all time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one, but I was outvoted by my brothers. They insisted the 4 of us stand together. 4 of us? Oh, that's them right there. These 4, probably. Okay. So the 4 of us. So we clumped in the middle and let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. The only one too good to make an appearance was Gwen. Grandma insisted that we include Sam. Is this Sam? Is this Sam? The mysterious Sam? Alright. Who are all these kids? Alright, so this one is Lauren, then. Okay, and then somebody was... Wait, let's zoom back in on that. Somebody has a... Is this Sam? This is so weird. I mean, it must be, right? Unless Sam was a woman's name, but no, it was a farmhand. None of us understood why, including Sam. I also didn't think it fair Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. Or is that Miracle? It's so interesting because I watched the full first VOD of SSS and you were definitely doing things in a different order. Oh no! I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to play this game, I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know. So would this be Miracle then? Because Miracle had an eye patch. And everybody else has their eyes in this picture. So is this also Miracle? And then Miracle's son? Are you baby Miracle? Does that mean... Once you verify this person, you'll be able to add bonus photos. Okay. So is Sam a woman? Definitely not a bad thing? Okay. I mean, it's always weird because you're like, I hope I'm doing good. I don't know. I also didn't think it... Because Grandma insisted we include Sam. It doesn't say, like, oh, he or she. I also didn't think it fair Miracle made it in since he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child still holds a grudge even after all these years. So Eli looks a lot like Pop, which means this is probably Eli. We don't know which one is... We don't know where they go on here. We don't know who is whose. Okay, I don't know which one's oldest or youngest. that's fine. Okay. Oh, okay, so this got updated. That's why it had the little red exclamation point. Photo of Carl's generation taken in mid-late as well as some paper and mail from his office. Bit more share after 9 more blood relatives. Okay. So then this is Wild Bill and his wife Gwen and their son, right? Couldn't make it to the reunion. Wishing you well from Paris, Gwen and the boys. Okay. So the photo has a note attached from your employer. Here's a bonus. When I pulled the water damaged picture of the 3 spirits out of the frame, this fell out too. That says film school? Film school. Is that? Okay. So this then is Gwen. Oh, I didn't. So this is also Gwen. But this just shows one kiddo. Unless these are her sons. Gwen and the boys. I feel like this is the older one and this is the younger one. Maybe that's just based on how they look. Now, did they both have R names? And were they both actors, possibly? At least one has the film school thing. Is it Ronald and Robert? Or the other way around? Possibly? Don't know. Could also have their photos backwards. I don't know. Ah! Zoomed in way too much. Alright. This is... I don't know why this is so weird. Okay. Hello! Sorry, I literally just took a bite of pizza. Welcome, Raiders! Hello! Rennie Springer, thank you so much for the raid! Woo, bye! Rennie! Kelsey! Woo! Hello, everybody! And Ratchet Eye! Rennie Ray! How's it going, y'all? What were y'all playing? Let me set my pizza aside. What were y'all up to? Speaking of which, we are playing The Roottrees Are Dead. Zoom in on a blank sheet. Just finished Alibi and Ashes. I played it before, but it's been a long time. That one was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Alibi and Ashes just because of, like, the change in, like, we get to play as different people and investigate and help Nancy. Yes, but that's why I zoomed in real quick on the screen. Yes, avoid spoilers, totally fine. Hi, Paris, bye, Paris. Yes, hi, bud, bye, bud. We are playing The Roottrees Are Dead. We are about 2 hours into it. So, if anybody is interested in playing this game and wants to avoid spoilies, please feel free to raid and run. Absolutely zero hard feelings. Just enjoy having y'all here. If you guys aren't familiar with me, hi, my name is Paris, Cardboard Spaceship here on Twitch. I stream on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sunday nights. Tuesdays I do Tuesday Tuesday, where I've been doing a first-time playthrough. Raid and fun for Din Din, but definitely check out some future streams. Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much for the follow and follower goal of 140. Dude, we're getting up there. This is so exciting. But yeah, I play Nancy Drew games on Tuesdays, and I call them Tuesday Drews Days. We're doing a first-time playthrough of all the games because I haven't played any of them before. We're currently on... We finished Tomb of the Lost Queen. I am taking a break to go back and do Haunted Carousel again because I lost my VOD videos of it. So yeah, Andratcha, thank you so much again for the follow. Appreciate it. Tuesdays is such a slay. I love Tuesdays. But yeah, so we'll be playing Deadly Device after we finish up Haunted Carousel. We're just doing a little throwback to a previous game, but yeah, we'll be on Deadly Device. I do play them on Master, Senior Detective or whatever for my first time playthrough, so it's always like a fun time. You're playing Tomb next for a first time playthrough. Oh, that's so exciting. I hope you enjoy it. I really loved it as somebody who was like, I definitely had like a big Egyptology phase as a kid. It just was like, oh, amazing. Oh my god, that's crazy. I need a task list. It is so hard sometimes. The newer games though, it's a little like interesting definitely because they give you a task list without giving you like a direct task list, but it's definitely like a memory game of what were we doing? Who am I supposed to talk to? What do I need to do next? But yeah, we're doing Senior Detective blind playthroughs. It's definitely a fun time. So it probably takes me a little longer to complete the games than other people, but it's okay. We have fun. But yeah, so Thursday nights right now we're doing a Siberia playthrough. We've been playing through the Siberia. It's an old point and click series. All while trying to read a Twitch chat. Yes, yes. Correct. It's a little bit of juggling, but we managed to make it work. But yeah, on Thursday nights we play Siberia, so we've played through Siberia 1 and 2, and we are 2 streams into Siberia 3, and then we'll eventually be playing Siberia the World Before, which is the 4th one in the series. Sunday nights have been kind of a mixed bag. We were doing a Myst playthrough for a while. We, not too long ago, finished Myst 4 Revelations. Next we're going to play Uru. But yeah, in the meantime, we're taking a break because it's a little too much on my brain to be playing all those games at one time. So right now we're playing The Roottrees Are Dead. And like I mentioned, I am 2 hours into this game. Yeah, Fairib helps me keep on task most of the time. Yep, they are amazing. And yes. Because sometimes I'll completely forget. Fairib is like a second set of eyes for me and a second brain as well because I need it. Because I mentioned before a ton of times, like, Streaming absolutely takes up like a portion of my brain percentage. Is like, look at chat, look and see what's going on. Is my internet still going on? Has anybody done any like hydrate requests or what, like all that kind of stuff that I have to pay attention to. So but yeah, so right now we're playing The Roottrees Are Dead. Again, we're 2 hours into it. This game is very much like Return of the Obra Dinn. But if you were not on a pirate ship, but if you were, or I guess not a pirate ship, but if you weren't on a ship, if you were just searching the internet in the 1990s, in the late 1990s. So I'm going to zoom back out so you will be able to, no. Speaking of hydrating, everybody hydrate with me. I don't want to hydrate alone. Everybody else, Fairby, you better have water. You better get hydrated too. So yeah, welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm going to get back into the game. So I'm going to zoom out. So if you're looking to avoid spoilies, now is the time to read and run. I'll give you a few seconds. Alright. We're zooming back out. Let's get into it here. Okay. So we found this photo, we think, of Gwyn and the boys. Oh, and for anybody who doesn't know what this game is about, you did get water and you have been hydrating. Good. Basically, this family known as the Roottrees, several of them died in a plane crash, and now we're trying to figure out who is related to who and how, and we got to find everybody's picture, name, and their occupation, and fill it out on a big family tree. So that's kind of what we're working on. What is this? Vote for Stephanie Jones for city council, better for Butler County. All right. This has 11 intuition points with it. Now we do know that somebody in the family possibly married a black person. So, but I thought it was a black woman? And that was like controversial at the time. So maybe this is, ooh, who were they related to? I don't remember. Okay, this was buried under a ton of other mail that Carl left in his inbox. It had a handwritten note attached to the same parcel. It's a flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from the newspaper article from the Butler County Times about her campaign. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family, to say the least, but in her words, it was still full of love. Now, 22 years later, with a baby of her own due around Christmas, her message for voters is simply, love is our future. Handwritten note says, Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflicts spread to the next generation. CM. So, Stephanie, the woman in the photo, grew up in an unconventional family. So was it her family? Did she have, like, a mom who was black? I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. So that's Carl, the guy who died, and the Roottrees sisters, his daughters. Don't let our conflicts spread to the next generation. CM. Don't let our conflicts spread to the next generation. CM. Who is CM? And where would they be? Over here somewhere? M. Caroline Morden? So is that over here? Right? This is maybe Caroline Morden. And then, oh, where did we read about? It was in the journal. It was in the journal, right? That's Dynasty. Let's see. It's about Sam. Clark's getting married. Okay, here we go. Maybe I'm just getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seemed to pursue passive knowledge, and the most rebellious thing any of us ever did. Any of us ever did. So it's probably not her brother, but it's probably somebody in her generation. The most rebellious thing any of us ever did was bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department once he retires. Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set. So is this Edward? Is there an Edward here? It wouldn't be Edward Roottree, right? Because these are all Mordens. Right? Edward Roottree. Okay. So one of these is Edward Roottree. Pop seems to have gotten over because Edward is set to take over his department. So it is one of her brothers. Edward. And their daughter is... Is this Edward? And then whoever Edward is, they're a lawyer, right? Because he's set to take over his thing. And then which one would be Edward? No, it'll be the youngest. This one. Ugh. I feel pretty confident that that's Zachariah. And I feel confident that that's Miracle and that they're the preacher. But something in those three must be wrong. Or this is not Edward. Whoever this is, this looks like the youngest of those. Alright, let's go with unknown male. 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 Alright. Well, I really thought we had something here, but I don't know. Okay, I might have to put a pause on that one. Let's take a look at the next generation of... Whoa, kiddos. This photo has a note attached from your employer. Every 20 years or so, the Roottrees would hold a big reunion and recreate an old family photo. This one is from the 70s. Carl's the teenager in the middle. This is Carl. Carl's the teenager in the middle? Carl's the teenager in the middle? Okay. Sorry about the water damage. A pipe burst in Carl's office. On the back of the photo in childish print writing, it says November. But November is a name, not a month. Or it is also a month. But it could also be a name, because I remember seeing November as a name. Maybe that's the person who took the photo. There are also a large number of cursive signatures. This little girl's name is November, probably, because in childish print writing it says November. There's also a large number of cursive signatures. Bonnie, next President Guy Hudson, Ernie Jr., Carolyn, Gwyneth M., Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr. I wonder if that's Miracle Jr. with his tie. Jim Roottree, Carl, Clark, and Eli M. So this is Eli. Wow, those two look very much alike. I wonder if Eli and Miracle Jr. are brothers. Now, these two have red hair. And then I feel like she's pretty obviously mixed. That must be November. Eli. So this Eli is Eli M. I wonder if it's Eli M for Eli Miracle. Let me, hang on. Go back here. Let me grab those two photos. This is Elias M. Rootree. Now, what does he do? He's clearly wearing like a... That's not really what I wanted to do. He's wearing some kind of like blue jumpsuit. Alright. The way she's standing, it looks kind of like she's gonna have like a baby. There's a girl in the back. This dude looks so groovy. Okay. This is frustrating though. Carl's the teenager in the middle. Right? This is Carl? Unless he's... No, he's the current president. There's not multiple Carls, right? There's not like a Carl and a Carl Jr. Okay. So I must have something wrong. With something. Was he also like a president at any time? Was he also a preacher? I was wondering if he would like take after his dad. Okay, so we got Carl, Miracle, and Miracle Jr. They were both preachers. Then we locked in a bunch of stuff. Okay.
You're listening to
Okay.
It's
What about
time for your headlines. Once an hour, every hour, on the 45.
It's a bizarre development to an already tragic tale.
Ooh.
In the wake of the accident that took his life, some of Carl Roottrees' belongings have apparently gone missing. Most notably,
Yeah.
a framed photo of the Roottrees
Oh, shoot, we have it.
from the mid-1970s that Carl had on his office.
Uh-oh.
We interviewed a local psychologist about who would do such a thing and why. For that article, search online for WRTT News. Again,
we got to search that.
That's WRTT.
Hang on, because I'm chewing. Okay. WRTG News is your local investigative jazz radio station. During their news segments, at 45 minutes on the hour, they've been talking about the plane crash. This most recent hour, they also talked about a picture taken from Carl's office after the plane crash and promised an interview online with a psychologist. During the interview, it's revealed there wasn't a break-in. Instead, someone with a key to the office took the picture after discovering the pipes burst due to the recent storm. This means it was likely someone close to the family. Oh Lord, we in trouble. Yeah, like, ma'am, how did you get that article? And like, I'm just as it's not good. Likely someone close to the family who was aware of the photo's history and wanted to save it. Psychologist, however, also goes on to posit that the culprit had an alternate agenda, specifically because no one in the family has come forward to say that they have it in their possession. Because they don't. We do. I do. Oh no. A comment below the article says, "Don't believe their lies. This is just another instance of the Roottree curse being a real true thing. I'll bet you Carl was murdered and the picture had evidence on it." Oh dang. This picture, you mean? Is there evidence on this picture? Dude, we're gonna find out all the mysteries. We're gonna find out all the mysteries. You ready for this? Let's go. What else we gotta look at? Oh, this. Okay. Yeah, okay, got that. Great, did that. Now what's going on here? This photo was tucked inside an envelope with a letter beneath a candle in the corner of his office. The letter says, "To Carl and Brenda. I'm sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral. It's tradition to have it as soon as possible, and Ernie, more than anyone else on Earth, knew how busy your job can be." Ernie maybe being a president. "To Carl and Brenda. I'm sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral." So that's the Roottree sisters' parents, the two people who died in the plane crash, Carl and Brenda. And Ernie is the person who died, theoretically. "I've enclosed a Shiva candle identical to ours if you'd like to pay your respects, though it's not expected for those outside of the faith to do so." Aww. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but for his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. Bringing this type of investigative skills to my next Thanksgiving? Yes! Oh, yeah. Everybody, yes, be investigative. Be nosy. We'll all be nosy Nancy's and figure out what's going on. Okay. As for myself, it's impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Oh, although we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list, the company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. It went unsaid at the time, but Ernie and I knew it had to have been Carl that convinced the trust, and that it was no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Wait, what? Because this is the thing. If Ernie is the one, Ernie had to have been a blood relative, right? Because if he was a president, he would have had to have been a blood relative. And because of that, yeah, rescuing us from the panic and burden of our endless bills. But wouldn't they have been rich? But this woman and the daughter wouldn't have been rich because they weren't blood relatives. They were married, or the daughter would have. Okay, and so he needed some kind of organ donation, and probably didn't get one. Caught it too late for him to get on the donor list. Okay. Ernie and I knew it had to have been Carl that convinced the trust. Convinced the trust of what? To, like, give them money or do something? I don't know. Up until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. We never could have done that without you two fighting for us. Much love, Debbie. So, Debbie, Ernie, and Nicole. Debbie, Ernie, and Nicole. So we need somebody who is like Carl's generation with one kid, maybe? Could be here. And it's somebody who's blonde. Kind of hard to say. Okay. Okay, so Ernie, Debbie, and Nicole. Who would they have been related to, though? I don't know which one of the... Because, I mean, they could be... here? No, this is a female. Let's find out what Debbie's last name is. It's Deborah, probably Deborah Bean. Nicole Madsen or Nicole Smith. Because it couldn't be... Madsen. Okay, so we have a Nicole... and Ernest Jr. So this is just a picture of her with Nicole. Especially for Nicole's sake, but this makes it feel like that's their only daughter. So, okay. So somebody who only had one kid who's in this generation. So it could be somebody here. Because we got to figure out where the... what was their name? Madsen? Because we have an Ernest, and then an Ernest Jr. And then... but Ernest... unless they're one generation down. And we just call him Ernie, but he's actually Ernest Jr. So somewhere in this picture is an Ernie Jr. So where's Ernest? So whoever it is, there's an Ernie... there's an Ernie one generation up, and then it's an Ernest Jr. And then Ernest Jr. is married to Debbie and has... okay. So... I don't know what's happening here. I don't think it's them because this is the Morden last name. And I feel like everybody over here... it has to be somebody on this family tree. It has to be somebody on this family tree. Right? But that doesn't quite make sense, though, right? Because then Elias Roottree Jr. Unless I've got this wrong. No, I've got that right. Right? The Mordens. Okay. So this is somebody else, Morden. Gwendolyn and Angelica. This is weird. Because if they had a son, well, no. Because then we said this could be a Morden and then two other, so these are all female Mordens. And then whoever would be under Morden would have a different last name if this was a female, because then they would have whoever the husband's last name was. But then this person has 3 kids, and then this is confusing. So I don't feel like it's this, but it could be. Madsen. So is this like an Ernie, and then like an... so if this was like Ernie, and then this is like Ernie Jr. But they didn't split up. you know, like he died. So, but then, okay, so I guess Elias could have had a daughter. He could have had a daughter, and then this person could have been married to in Ernest, and then maybe in Ernest Jr. But Ernie Jr. Okay, and then Debbie, and then Nicole. Although we do have Smith, but there's only one Smith. Nicole Madsen, maybe? And then this was, you were the president? Possibly. That's a quite a bit of a leap in logic on that one. It could be here or it could be over here. Actually, this one has a picture attached to it. And if it were Deborah, we would have a picture of her. Possibly. Alright, they have blonde hair. He was the president. Nicole Madsen. I was like, baby is like student on here. Like student K through 12. And then it's just a matter of figuring out which one Ernie Jr. is. Now, whoever Ernie Jr. is, he has one sibling. Okay, let's get rid of this. He has one sibling who's likely also a Madsen, so it's probably Gwyneth. And I wonder if they're the two red-haired people. Which means I might have something wrong there. Still frustrated that I haven't gotten him locked in. Something's wrong here. Unless he's a different Zach. But he couldn't be. He has to be a Zach Morden. And I'm confident he was the second president, but something's not right here. Because I didn't have him right when I got the last set of people checked off. Possible she was a housewife. Alright, I wonder if I can just like search her. Did I spell it right? I don't get it. Gwyn, G-W-Y, G-W-Y-N-E-F, N-E-F, N-E-T-H-M-A-D-S-E-N. Yeah, then I searched that. Okay. Alright, let me go back to my list of notable Roottrees. Oh, okay. So I've got everybody on here. Perfect. Great. So that's done. Okay. I'm interested in figuring out this. Stephanie Jones. CM. Who's CM? Caroline Morden. I have this as? Edward? Who was the kid, the lawyer? Oh dear. No, we think that's Eli. I think that one's Eli. It's just the list of names. Okay. Is this Elias C? Where was that clue? Was it in here? Jacob, no. Sam, Easy, and John. Let's see. Angie's older than Zach. I'm the next oldest of us all. So Angie, whoever Angie is, Angie has to be this person. Don't know why I'm clicking on that. Angie. Angelica. Angelica Morden is the only person. So is that who this is? Wait, but then... Oh, maybe that's what I have wrong. I put Zachariah there because he's the oldest son of the oldest, but he's not the oldest child. It's Angelica. That's why his thing isn't ticking off. Everything is right. It's just he's in the wrong spot. So then Caroline is what, over here? Alright. Because Angie's older than Zach, and I'm the next oldest of us all. So Angie's older than Zach. Was he he was the next president. And I'm the next oldest of us all. So she's the oldest in her, like, line of people. I wonder if we can figure out who Clark is. See if he looks at all. Maybe that's him? Oh. It's hard. Okay. I don't know if I have this right. Where was... He was like, somebody's gonna take over Dad's whatever. Was that in here? Firstborn son. Ask Clancy to, if that ever came up with a woman could take over. Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family since we still have the Roottrees name. I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he was the one who volunteered. Granddad was furious that none of his sons would take over as president. That's what he gets for holding on to it so long. So is Clancy the oldest son of Clancy Edward? Is there another Clancy Jr.? And then maybe it's Elias C as in Elias Clancy? Where did that come from, though? Okay, this is all just about Sam, right? Wins in Paris, Miracles Boys, Zach's office. Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy. So her Uncle Junior. This would have been... I don't have a Patsy? Oh. It could be a Patricia... Let's try Patricia Jones for now. It could be Patricia somebody else, but that's probably a Patsy. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands when he used to drive past the farm. Hearing that, Zach checked the record books and managed to confirm all 3 are on the books. Okay, Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother. Here we go. Miracle's youngest, but not my brother. So she does have a brother named Eli. When he's riding his mini bike alongside the farm, Sam gave him some old tools, taught him how to make it faster. None of us think it's proper. Eli seems thrilled. Okay. One of the final entries called Clark. Clark's getting married. It's him and Danielle. She and Jacob got married at 16. They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. I feel like that's going to come in handy. I'm going to have to, like, try and guess what a lot of that generation is. The only one who has any discipline is Carl, but that's because Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. Pop forced Clancy. Oh, okay. Clancy Jr. Okay, we got that. Pop forced Clancy. So now... He's... Is it this one? Let's see, hang on. My ear is itching. Okay, well, this part about our generation. Zach's not a bad president, and his sister seems to be doing a good job at raising her twins. The amount of time my grandma has told my grandpa she loves him is so sweet. Oh, she just said he's the love of her life. Oh, old people in love are super cute. Super cute. She even told us she might come home next year so we can meet her kids. Okay, so it's not this piece of evidence, but this one? I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left, since to me he looked like Pop did in the old one. So I guess which of these looks like... I feel like they look pretty alike. So does that mean that's Eli? So that's not Clancy. Maybe that's Clancy. And then why do I have Eli as being the youngest? I don't know if that's true or not. They insisted the 4 of us stand together, so we clumped up in the middle. Grandma insisted we include Sam even if we didn't want to. So who's Sam? I don't know. Next president, Guy Hudson. Where the Hudsons even come in here? I don't even have a Hudson. Oh, goodness. Okay. Where is the note about Eli's gonna take over the whatever? Where is that note? Question mark. So we just don't know that person's last name. Okay. Okay, so we've identified everybody here. Celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. Mr. Morden, who is there with Aunt Gwendolyn. So Mr. Morton was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Eli Jr. designed it. Oh, that's why he's an architect. Okay. Do we know when this is from? Doesn't say. Alright, what have we been searching on here recently? This has been like a while. Okay. Okay, I feel confident now that he is correct. And it sounds like Ernie was the president before Carl, right? He had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. We know that Carl is the 4th president, so it must mean that Guy Hudson is the 3rd president. The work you three did together. Have we looked up Miracle Roottrees? I don't think that we have. Nope, that's not. Miracle Network. Oh, a production company run by the Miracle Roottrees estate. It's quite bare bones, but has the following blurb. Witness the testimonies of the Miracle's Roottree. Miracle Roottrees arrived so late in his mother's life that doctors swore he wouldn't survive his first year. His mother and father Elias and Gwyneth named him Miracle because they thought him impossible. He was younger than his brothers and sisters by over 14 years. With a birth that late, the final child of his generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems. But still, with the power of God on his side, he persevered. He triumphed over these complications and even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. 23 years later, Miracle Roottrees Jr. arrived and he became the famous family's second vessel for the higher power. At 18, he unburdened himself from the Roottree name and took his father's testimony to a whole new level. And via the power of television, Miracle Jr. spread the gospel across the entirety of New England. He has since left the life of glamour and glitz behind to reach those places that need it most. Power of the Lord coming to a town near you. Below the blurb is a flyer about the tour, which is now in your evidence. Whoa. Witness the Power of the Lord, Summer 96, 3 Generations of Miracles Tour, featuring testimony from world-famous Miracle Jr. and a special appearance from Miracle Roottrees, oh, here we go, in his 68th year on God's earth. Children now welcome. Celebrate with your pastor, Miracle III, and his wife, Nicole. Okay. This is Miracle III, and he is also a preacher? Okay, so we have Nicole correct, Miracle the Third, and Zachariah, but we don't have Nicole's father correct. Oh, let's go answer our phone here.
So, you may have heard the news. Some of Carl's things have gone missing.
Yeah.
That includes the pictures and mail I brought you earlier.
Sure seems like
I promise I didn't steal it. But...
Oh, but I did borrow it. I'll return it once we're done. Let me deal with my family in the meantime. Oh, I guess that means I've officially confessed.
I am a Roottrees.
Well, yeah, girl, I already figured that out.
I assure you I have a reasonable explanation for the secrecy. I'm about to do something big the family doesn't approve of.
Ooh. I wonder if she's gonna try and, like, dissolve the trust or something.
If you could just wait a little bit longer, I'll tell you more. In person. I'll return after 15 more blood relatives.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. Miracle the Third and his wife, Nicole. So you must mean Nicole Smith. Okay. Love it. This one's also Miracle. It's Elias. So what was Elias? He was like an artist or something? Maybe in his little jumpsuit. It said they wanted to be like artists, dancers, musicians, etc. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, I'll leave it in there just in case. And Elias had a kid. Miracle. Did we decide this was also Miracle? I don't know his spouse's name. Frustrated that we still haven't gotten Wild Bill Williams' name. I don't have any Williams at all, right? I have Wilsons and Wilkins, which is a female. Samantha Roottrees. I wonder if this is Sam. And they are a Roottrees, and it is a woman. Okay. So, Miracle Jr. is said to be world famous. Miracle Jr. is on the notable Roottrees. Got it. Miracle Roottrees will make a special appearance. Miracle the Third and his wife, who are said to be the youth pastors. Alright, so now we've gotten a phone call. Instead of returning, they call and claim they were a Roottrees and give us more of an explanation. That's fine. Okay. Let's see. Elias Roottrees. Oh, I guess this is the original Elias Roottrees. Also, copy that. And it's by Bess Williams. Williams. Oh, it didn't copy. Where'd it go? Family Mail? Oh, I'm just missing the F. Old book about Elias Roottrees, no downloadable version because the book is impossible to find these days. It's from the 1920s. Okay. And his wife Nicole, who didn't. Miracle the Third and his wife Nicole, but it doesn't say who this guy is. Miracle Jr.'s wife is or anything. And the other thing is, I have her correct, but I don't have him correct. Is it possible he could have been the third president? I don't know. Gwendolyn. Okay. I wonder if I can look up Angelica Morden or Angie Morden. So these are the only ones who were easily searchable. So we searched Miracle Jr., but he was on the list, but I didn't know because we'd already kind of like... we'd already solved. I still can't believe red herring. That's so silly. Alright, okay. I mean, would there be stuff about Stephanie Jones? She's running for office, right? Okay, you learn from the election results page that Stephanie Jones, a candidate for city council, won her campaign on election day about a month ago. You find no mention of the Roottrees in any articles about her. Stephanie also has a very bare bones website for her campaign. It's simply a picture of her campaign mailer, and underneath it, it says, be sure to read the full article in the Butler County Times. So Butler County, located just outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, while the Roottrees Candy Company now has its headquarters in the city. The company began on a small farm within the Butler County limits, and the area has a lot of history with the family. The Butler County Times is presumably a local paper there. There are likely articles from all over the years involving the Roottrees family and those adjacent to them. It's been automatically added to your periodical search interface. As a side note, a video game called The Roottrees Are Dead was once set in Butler County, and turns out the creator never lived in or near Butler County or even had any connection to Butler County. That's cute. Alright, so Butler County Times, I mean, can we just search? Okay, they flood the results, including the 5 pieces. Okay, so we need to search something more specific. So, Lauren Roottree. They go into a bit about Lauren's history. She grew up around the famous Roottree family. She wrote some romance books under her married name Rafferty. Did we ever put in her? Yeah, Jacob Rafferty. Okay. Here we go. She wrote some romance books involving historical figures such as pirates and knights that were released under her married name Rafferty. Now her diary is being released under her birth name Roottree. Reviewer gives it a 4 out of 5, claims it captures the evolution. Did we already do this? Okay, claims it captures the evolution in perspective from adolescence to adulthood and a true feeling of change in society from across multiple decades. They call special attention to the author's recollection of the day she heard that her husband Jacob died in the war, and how times have changed in the more than 20 years between the first and last diary entry. Writers of the review mentions that because the majority of the interactions in the book take place in Butler County, including many locations they personally recognized, it made everything feel more real and perhaps contributed to a higher score than it would have received otherwise. In the end, or they end the review with, "Don't forget, you can find this and many other books at your local library." So we'd already looked at that. I need to scooch that music down a little bit. Let's get a little loud. Stephanie Jones. Maybe she's in the newspaper, because that's who we were looking at. She won her election. You can find the full version of the newspaper clipping on the back of the campaign mailer. Most of it's unimportant. You do find the following. Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Landon, until her marriage to local business owner Brian Jones, has lived in Butler County her whole life. She grew up in a home without her father. With my mother and her partner, I essentially had an entirely female influence. Though she's a distant cousin of the Roottrees, her mother Caroline, a local artist who's appeared on the front page of the Butler County Times in the past, has come out opposed to the corporation's policies regarding deforestation of indigenous trees to expand their maple farms. Unlike my mother, I'm not a fighter. I want to bring love to the world. So maybe she's not the daughter of somebody who married the black woman. It's just the fact that her parents got divorced or her father died, and her mother remarried a woman, and so that's why she's like, love is the future. So maybe I had that a little wrong. So Stephanie Jones is probably CM, so Caroline Morden. So this one's probably Stephanie Landon, and we know it's, what was it, Mark Landon? Was that his name? No, Joan Landon. Oh, she was born Stephanie Landon, but is now married to Brian Jones. And she is a politician? And this is Brian Jones. Because CM is the one who wrote to Carl. Carl, I know you don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity. Don't let our conflict spread to the next generation, CM. So it would make sense that it's her daughter. Now, she was originally married to somebody. Grew up in a home without a father. With my mother and her partner, I had an entirely female influence. Her mother, Caroline, great, got that. Local artist. So let's try looking up Caroline Morden. You find a cover story about local art installations, including one by Caroline Morden, and it just printed something, so I hope that was a photo. There isn't much about Caroline as a person. This is mostly a listing of art in Butler County. She seems to get top billing. Accompanying the story, there's an image of Caroline standing next to a large metal sculpture of a mermaid. It has captured Caroline standing next to her sculpture, Atlantis Burden. The sculpture is one of many works featured in her upcoming book, Self-Portrait, Art and Beauty of Women. According to a quote further down, Atlantis' burden is meant to symbolize a society split by indecision over whether women should be equals or something to protect. Interesting. Picture on the front page has been added to your evidence. Oh, yes. She seems cool. So I wonder if that's her, and also... Hang on. And also... this is her? Because she's, like, kind of artsy looking, and that kind of looks like her a little bit, maybe. Okay. Yeah, I feel like, okay, so she's an artist. Okay. Artist. See, this is kind of like killing me here, because I'm like, what do I have wrong? What if I can search Caroline Morden here? P flag. What's P flag? Parents and friends of lesbians and gays. Okay. I mean, I feel like I have this right. That this is her. This is probably also her. She's married to somebody. They split up. And she married a lady. And then they had, and she adopted Stephanie and raised her, and her husband's Brian Jones. And I mean, she won her thing, her election, so she'd be in politics. Caroline Morden is obviously an artist because so she's with a sculpture, and all of her stuff is about artists. Do I have the wrong picture here? Okay. Nicole Smith, Brian Jones, that picture, that one, booyah. Alright, so because of that, I know that this Patsy is not the right Patsy, and I need another Patsy. Okay. Which means that this likely isn't Gwyneth's picture. That's okay. Oh, it's almost... Oh, it's like the end of stream time almost. Oh, I don't want to stop playing! No! I don't want to... I want to play this forever. Oh, this is so fun. I can't wait to see what's in the top secret thing. Okay. Alright. Oh! I know, we get 3 more hours next week. It's true. But still. Still! Let me go ahead. I think that's also her picture, if I had to guess. Okay, so Angelica Morden and Zachariah Morden. I wonder if I can figure out who Angelica is from that picture. From this one. So Angelica is maybe either her or her? Have to watch the VOD before then because I've not been fully here for thing. Oh, yeah. That's okay. It's totally understandable. Like, do not worry about it at all. Yeah, I wish I could find the section here. Ugh, hang on. Okay. So if that's him, then this is also... He's also the little kid. Put that one in. I don't know that Elias is... Oh, he is not an artist. So, preacher, actor... Where... We think maybe this is Clancy Jr., but... I need to, like, erase these pictures, because I'm... I feel like whoever Elias is this picture. There's more about James Roottrees and Diamond LaRue. Can I just search, like, one of the kids' names? Maybe Diamond LaRue? Find out more about her. Maybe I can look up Diamond's Dazzlers. Aha! Diamond's Dazzlers is the name of the official fan club for Jim and Diamond. You'll find a forum post called Cool Things You Got in the Mail on a random... Or you find a forum post called Cool Things You Got in the Mail on a random forum about video games. One reply mentions that Jim and Diamond still send out a Christmas card every year to Diamond's Dazzlers. It's accompanied by some pictures as well as some history about the fan club. Apparently, even though it's no longer available to join, Jim and Diamond still honored themselves personally. There's a fierce debate in the subsequent posts about whether that's cool or pathetic. Amongst the pictures of Christmas cards from over the years, only one is relevant. A card from 1996 included pictures of Jim and Diamond's young son, Wolf, as well as a note about his daughter's band, the Floozies. That picture has been added to your evidence. Okay, found a picture of a Christmas card from Jim and Diamond's. Wolf listening to his parents' latest music. This was 2 years ago. Nice. And then they have a daughter as well. Let's see if we can look up the Floozies. Floozies are an all-female punk band operating out of New York City. They're mentioned in passing in an online review from earlier this year. Apparently, they were the opening act for the band the reviewer actually came to see. The reviewer writes that she normally doesn't review the opening act, but this one was unusual. And not because of the music, which she described as loud, fast, and repetitive, but not in the good way. The trio was extremely cagey about their identities. The reviewer asked the venue who they were, and she was told they were rumored to be the children of other famous musicians and didn't want that to be why they became popular. The reviewer also mentioned that for an underground and unknown band with absolutely no following, their equipment was all extremely expensive, and not only were they selling CDs, but they only cost $1, so they were probably losing a fortune. The reviewer said that although she bought a copy, it would be unlikely to ever listen to any of it again, except for maybe Beef Baby, the 7th track. There's no pictures of the Floozies performing live, but the cover from the CD they were selling, Conquistador, amazing, has been added to your evidence. Oh, Conquistador. Oh, guitar and vocals, Candy. I know we have a Candy Roottrees. We also have a Nikki and a Nina. So guitar, that's probably her picture. So this is Candy. And she looks kind of older. So is this Candy Roottrees? Come on. And she's a musician. And then this is Wolf Roottrees, and he's probably a student. He doesn't look terribly old. Let's see. Their young son, Wolf, 2 years ago, and he's still young. That makes me feel like he'd be in that, like, student age. I don't know if any of these albums are. Cherry tree is a pretty general search term. Perhaps unsurprisingly, you find a lot of results for foliage. Okay. Let's try Sound of Laughter, maybe? Album by Jim and Diamond, released in 1989. Can't even find a picture of the cover. Doesn't appear to have been very successful. And reviews seem middling even from fans. So basic liner notes exist on the Jim Roottrees fan page. States the lyrics and... Okay, yeah. Hydrate. I can hydrate. Just trying to see if I could just like guess at what he does. It looks like he'd do construction. Farmer. Mechanic in the blue suit. I was like, I feel like I have the two kids. Who else can I get right? Oh, and we got Patsy right. And we got the pictures right. Booyah! Sweet! Alright, so we're doing pretty good. So he's a mechanic and he's a kiddo. He is married to... That's Patsy. Patricia Christensen. Alright. Try to see who else we... If there's anybody else we had, like, a picture and stuff in for these guys, but we don't know that they're actors, so we don't even know what their names are. I feel like I'm going to take actor out of this one, but I'm going to leave it on this one because this picture is him with the jacket that says film school on it. And other than that, it's a lot of, like, finding out people's spouses' names, which is really hard. These three I'm kind of frustrated about. Elias, Clancy, and one other Roottrees. So who else would have the zoom? Zoomy, zoomy, zoom. Who else would have a Roottree name? Whoever this is would be a Roottree. I'm trying to figure out, like, how many Roottrees do we have left? Come on. So we have Clancy, Elias, and somebody else. Jack, Christina, November, Robert, Ronald, Samantha, Tessa. So we're kind of getting there. Now these two have the Roottrees name. And one of them is the alliteration. I feel like it's probably Robert and Ronald or the other way around. Now November is that little girl. Where would she come in? Clark? I don't know what's going on with Clark. It's interesting. Alright, we'll have to dig more into it next time. I feel like we're doing pretty good, though. We have 24 out of 33 of them. Like, that's pretty good. We're only 9 away, so I think we can figure it out. I think getting all the little pieces is going to be tough with the spouses. But it says you can open this envelope after the whole family tree has been filled in. I wonder, though, if, like, that includes spouse names as well. Because, like, I have no idea who Miracle's wife was, because I don't remember seeing anything about that. Okay. 23 years later, Miracle Roottree arrived. It doesn't say anything about, like, his wife's name. I guess we'll have to keep looking and all that kind of stuff. Sure, we'll figure it out. Disconnect. Log off the internet. Alright, we're gonna call it there for the night. How do I get out of here? Oh, save and quit. Okay, perfect. Alright, y'all. That's it so far. The Roottrees are dead. This has been like a really fun game. I really, really enjoyed this one. It definitely reminds me so much of Return of the Obra Dinn. I know I've said that probably like 15 times in this video, but yeah, just huge return of the Obra Dinn vibes, which is an amazing game that I love so much. And I really want to erase it from my brain because it's one of the games, again, that I played on stream but never had the VODs saved. So, like, I want to be able to play it again on stream sometime, but I feel like that game is just, like, so entrenched in my brain that I mean, I can play it again, but it's not going to be, like, a first-time playthrough, you know? Which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Alright, y'all, but thank you so much for joining, especially if there's anybody out there who is new or anything like that, and thank you for all the new followers and the raids and stuff that we had today. Let's see what else is going on out here. Are we following anybody we can raid? Let's see. We'll scooch on. Well, no. Love you, parents. Great stream. Oh, thank you. Love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out. Fair, be thinking about your family and just praying that everything goes well. So, yeah, just sending a lot of love. Let's go ahead and try to figure out what people are doing. We can raid over maybe to Celeb. Celeb's doing Waverly Academy speedrun practices. Yeah, we'll go ahead and raid over to Celeb. We'll do some Nancy Drew times. But yeah, that'll be it for us for the night. Thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be playing this again next Sunday. And then, yeah, Tuesday, Drew's Day will be coming up. We'll be doing Haunted Carousel still. And then we will be doing more of Siberia 3 on Thursday night. So, yeah, until next stream, see you guys later. Hope you have a good night. Bye, everybody.